What is going on, everyone? Mr. Mom Collectibles. I am back, and it is another Monday night live stream. There's some familiar faces here you may know, and maybe some or one you don't know. And you know the king, you know the Whopper over there. It's not Whopper Wednesday yet, but nevertheless. So we got C and B below me, the king. He'll be the king tonight. You're holding it down. How are you doing, sir?
Great. Thank you for having me. Hope
Oh,
everybody's having a great night.
absolutely. And he missed a couple streams because of some stuff going on, but the man who brings the hate time and time again, no matter where he goes, with a little bit of nice little beverage in him, the Hatealorian, Sean. How are you doing, sir? Sipping on some fine
Cheers.
Sipping on some hate.
Yep. We're gonna see how it flows after a couple of old fashions.
There we go. We'll save Jazzinc for the
Nice
end.
glass of haterade.
Well, no, those are the tears of some 22 Batmobiles, and
salty tears.
we're gonna save Jazzinc to the end and let those tears drink, let that drink kind of settle in a little bit so we get some good reactions out of it. And then finally, the man who is new to streaming. I promise I'm not going to suck him into this world, but I said, hey, we had a conversation. He made his YouTube debut a few nights ago when we made a Maju case video. I'm sorry. And we talked about, some things, some things to think about. And we have Carlos here. Now, you may know him in the live chats as Carlito with the Darth Vader icon, but it is Carlos. And I know you keep saying there's a lot of Carloses out there, so you went by Carlito. But Carlos, how are you doing, man?
Good. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Some good conversation.
Yeah. So like I said, you and I very much bonded over the last few weeks, I'd say. And I was like, hey, listen, you ever want to come on stream? When you're ready. You've been a staple in a lot of live streams, so you're new. You're not new to this per se, but you're on the other side of it just for tonight. And we'll be easy on you, like I said, and everyone in the live chat, take it easy on Carlos. But there's a reason why I assembled Carlos here too, because like I said, he's got experience in some of the stuff that we're going to talk about. So I just wanted to put together a really well panel, and we might have a special guest. I might have spoiled it on the thumbnail. He said he'd be here tonight. We'll see. If he's running late, that's no problem. He's on his own time. I have no problem with that whatsoever. So we might have a special guest coming in at some point. We'll bring him in when I see him. But before we get started, we got a lot to talk about. Last week was a little dry, but we got great release today, if I could talk, amongst some other things we want to talk about. So I want to jump in the live chat, acknowledge those who are here, because believe it or not, there were some people here before I even got started, which never happens. And we have obviously some guy who is a moderator and a channel member dropping the love, says you love the scrunchies, you say, well then become a channel member of the Scrunchie Squad. Listen, guys, I got made fun of because I'm growing my hair out, and yes, I have a scrunchie in my hair, and I got made fun of it on other channels. So what did I do? I make it my own channel membership, and people joined up. So you got to be able to poke fun at yourself once in a while. And so there you go. We're rocking pink tonight. Maybe next week's a different color, but nevertheless. Big Dog Pound One in the house saying woo to everybody. Thank you so much. I'd scream it, but my daughter's sleeping, and I don't want to wake her up because otherwise I'll be in trouble. Big Dog saying hello to everybody here. Got some guys dropping links as always. Cigars, having a little conversation there. Paid in channel member and a staple as well. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, sir. Thank you. Monica is in the house. Thank you, Monica. Answering some questions about Wanda. We are going to jump right into Wanda first, but there was some questions about the posing and stuff. So Monica, thank you so much for being here. I don't know if you're ever able to make my streams, but tonight, thank you so much, sir. I really do appreciate that. Like I said, there's dropping some tap dancing emojis. That's one of the things. If you're a channel member, I make some emojis, scrunchy emojis, but we also have tap dancing emojis too. So if you feel you have to, the compelling you to tap dance, I have an emoji for that. So you got a couple tap dancing emojis there. We got Hobby Halbert in the chat saying, hey, what's up, everybody? I hope you're doing well tonight. Eric is here, channel member as well, saying hello to everybody. Don Prime in the house. Where is Don? He's somewhere around here. I got a lot of people calling out Don. So there's a lot of comments floating around. There's Don. He's here. So I hope you're doing well. What does he say? Need river dancing emojis. I can only put so many emojis in there, so I have to swap one out to put one in. So I had to remove a couple scrunchies to put the tap dancing in there, but I'm still getting used to the whole channel membership thing, but nevertheless. So guys, I want to stop talking. I talk too much. We want to jump right into a couple things going on. So the first thing is we're just going to start with what dropped today, because fresh takes. I didn't really talk about this. and something that I think was long overdue, but we got finally the Multiverse of Madness, Scarlet Witch. Guys, I have some comparison photos you guys can take a look at from the original prototype to the final. I'll show you guys that stuff as well. We also have a sideshow first look on this figure, but right off the bat, when I saw this was awesome. I don't recall, I was telling Carlos, I don't think this one figure was in the original photos that they dropped in January when they gave you the whole release of like what's incoming. I don't recall her being in this one, but when I showed Carlos what her original announcement date was, it was a little overdue, I would say. It's been a while, but right off the bat, Carlos, jumping, the rookie, the streaming rookie here, we're going to jump right into it. What do you initially think about this? Do you have it on pre-order? Like, I just want to kind of open up the discussion. Let me know what you think about it right off the bat.
Well, overall, Multiverse of Madness kind of caught me off guard because I wasn't a big fan of the movie. I thought it was okay, but after the figures were announced, they look really good. They look great. To me, it's insane because we're looking at, like you said, we're looking at those photos previously, and I think the final looks better than the proto, honestly, in certain angles. It's a great looking figure. I love the way she looks, her costume, better than the WandaVision costume. I think it's a better look for me as far as being cinematic. The other one kind of had like a TV feel to it, Disney Plus feel, if that makes any sense. But placement of the tiara, the thing that really caught me off guard was the base. I really thought it was going to be flimsy material, but it looks like it's better material than we thought it was going to be. It's all plastic. It's not cardboard or anything like a lot of people were thinking. But I'm really happy, and I think what I'm going to have to do is get it on the back end. I didn't pre-order it, but I think I'm going to wait for a good deal on it and see if I can pick it up, like I did with the Doctor Strange for that movie.
Yeah. Now, do you have any other? Now, does anyone here have other Wandas, or if you're getting this, like for me, I don't have any. So this. I have this on pre-order. Does anyone here have other Wandas? Is this the first one you would be getting, or is this a pass for, like, Sean? Do you have anything? Are you getting this one, or what do you think about this?
No, this one didn't hit me in the feels. So, like, I mean, I didn't. I mean, Multiverse of Madness just kind of came across as just like a free for all to kind of get like a fan service to kind of get certain characters in there that, just the fans themselves just try to keep pitching out, like John Krasinski for Fantastic Four, Mr. Reed Richards, and stuff like that. And yeah, it didn't. I mean, I just didn't enjoy the movie all that much. But I do have the only Wanda that I have that's coming. I don't have a previous Wanda, but because I did not like the WandaVision show.
Yeah,
I thought that was right up there with She-Hulk. And but
you told me you love She-Hulk.
What's that?
You told me that you loved She-Hulk.
Yeah, he said it was the greatest.
I love to hate it. I love hating on it.
You said you loved it. You loved everything about it.
Yeah, especially the tweaking scene or the twerking scene with Rizzo there. But I have the artisan version on PO, and mostly because I kind of got like FOMO'd into it, just because how the other previous artisans went so fast and everything. So I just like, I'll jump on it, but then regrets. But I'm gonna get it. Because I do need it to kind of round out the Avengers.
Yeah. C&B, question for you, which we got to pose. You think those are single or double jointed elbows?
They kind of hard to tell because of the shirt. Because if you look at the elbow, because some of the photos, if you look at the elbows, it kind of squares off, and if it squares off like that, that's double jointed. The look is double jointed. I'm not saying it is. But it's hard to tell because of that Monica approved it double jointed. So yeah, because the square elbows to me is what leads it to be a double jointed figure.
Yeah. What do you think about this one? I know we talked about it briefly today about it, but do you have anything previous to this, or is this something that
No, I think it's a good figure. I think it looks good. I'm not getting it. I've just never really been a Scarlet Witch fan, whether it be the comics or the MCU. I'm happy for those that are getting it. I think that they did make a lot of improvements, especially with the base. You could tell. You could tell that they went back and they worked on it. And then some of the other things that they added to this figure, the whole magnet system on her hips to change things out. the magnetic tiara, the magnetic hair to swap out. I mean, they didn't even say that they were doing any of that, and they just kind of. It's another Mysterio thing where they surprise you in the end. You know, where we didn't think we were getting a Jake Gyllenhaal head sculpt, and they threw it in as a bonus. I feel that them reworking the base, to what it is, was a great improvement. It was definitely needed because from what we saw the first time, it looked like it was made of cardboard.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then the whole magnet system that they did on this that they didn't tell anybody about, I think that anybody that's getting this is going to be pleasantly surprised and happy with it. But for me, it's just a pass. Like, I can't get a figure if I'm not a fan, you know. There's just no point.
Dude, these photos are sick, though. Like, I can't stop looking. These are some of the best photos I've seen on a Hot Toy, honestly, in a while. Like, these are some sick photos because they just look so awesome in these photos. Now, I did do a comparison, guys, if you guys want to take a look. So this is actually the prototype that was announced. So it was actually announced May 24th of 2022. So here's the proto, and here's the final release. I mean, I think it looks so much better compared to the original proto. I think there's enough overall a lot of small differences that just really enhance the sculpt. And then touching on about the WandaVision version. So here's the WandaVision final, and this is I'm gonna call it the mom proto and the mom final. And even the proto on the mom still looks better. Like the WandaVision one is just so like, I just was never a fan of it. I just wasn't a fan of this one. I just feel like, and Carlos and I were looking at it online, and like the difference between WandaVision and Multiverse of Madness was a year apart. It wasn't like the show and the movie happened 5-6 years later, where I'm not saying they should have used like the same sculpt per se, but I mean, there really wasn't much of a difference between the time when she filmed both pieces of material. It's only a year difference. But the way the sculpt is on the WandaVision, I was always on the fence because I was going to get this one. I have this one on order, but I was only ever going to get one. But for me, I ended up going with the mom version personally. But that's wild, though. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I could pull up the Sideshow unboxing because they actually put up a video of it, and we can kind of wrap up our thoughts and talk about this right here while I go through some of the comments. But right there off the bat is what you said. I think in the beginning, right, was the base looked like it's all plastic, Carlos. I mean, and I know CMB, we talked about that earlier in terms of the base and stuff like that for the deluxe, but this really shows off everything that's coming with, and it's just I think it's a really well packaged piece. I'm regretting, I usually don't like to say this, but I'm regretting not getting the deluxe. I'm going to try to find, I have the regular on order. I want to see if I can maybe swap it to see if I can get the deluxe, because I really like the display and all the stuff that it comes with. This just looks so badass. And I have the Dead Strange in the back, so I think it will pair really nicely.
So am I the only sucker that went for the artisan version?
No, I have it too.
Okay.
I suckered into it. I have the artisan. Matter of fact, I unfortunately got it with this guy right here, Jeremy at Plastic Hero Collectibles, saying my favorite influencer is live. Thank you. But he unfortunately suckered me into getting it with him. So mine is actually with Jeremy. So, and look at this, just in time, ladies and gentlemen. It's V. What's going on, man? How are you?
Doing right. Sorry,
yeah?
Wait, I was actually trying to figure out the camera stuff.
No, you're good, man. You were there, man. What's going on? How are you, man?
I'm doing good, dude.
Yeah,
just another Monday night, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on, man. We're just we're going over Scarlet Witch from the Multiverse of Madness. It was like I said, released today, so we're just kind of going over it. I mean, if you want to give me your thoughts on it. And it kind of, did you see this at all, or no? This is like your first time looking at anything with it?
I mean, I saw it when it first, back in the day, not like its final product release.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of wild to see, it's like this is releasing now, but then we have an artisan Scarlet Witch coming out later. We got enough of we got a fair share of Scarlet Witches that are coming through.
Are we on overload? Are we on overload?
A little bit. We're in kind of a renaissance of first it was Wonder Woman, now it's Scarlet Witch. It's all right, she's our Marvel Wonder Woman. If Marvel has 100 years, she'll probably then be the forefront like the other ones.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. Did anyone I know Sean, you said you saw the movie. CMB, you saw the movie, and V, you saw Multiverse of Madness, right? We all saw the movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Did anybody on here actually enjoy it? Like the movie overall? I didn't care for it. Sean, you didn't care for it.
So I'm actually a big fan of it. I really liked it a lot. I thought it was like, we had a huge. I think the thing is, it's like, when you had Endgame, right? Every Marvel movie after it has to compare to those two movies, right? The only one came close was No Way Home, because it had that same kind of feeling of like, oh, here's the oh shit moment, here's all this stuff. Problem with this movie was that it was titled wrong. Like, instead of being Multiverse of Madness, it should have been something else, like Doctor Strange versus the Darkhold, or Doctor Strange versus Wanda, because that would have been more sense. Because then when you see, like, when he goes to sees a fantastic, Reed Richards and all these other people, Professor X, it's more of a oh shit moment than when you have it on the other way around. You're expecting more after. It's like, all right, we got those guys, Reed Richards, Peggy Carter. All right, who else is coming next? What's the next big surprise?
No, I thought it would have probably been better named, like American Chavez, all with guest star Doctor Strange.
Well, like, now we're on the topic of the movie. Like, I guess we'll go down the row. Like, it's like, Carlos, I ask you, like, what let you down about the movie? Like, for me, it was like Sam Raimi, Doctor Strange. It was like, all right, if there was something that they were going to get Sam Raimi to direct, I'm like, a Doctor Strange movie, I was like, okay, I could see that. It's a little out there. It kind of fits his style, things like that. Like, I don't know. I went in with no expectations on the movie. Like, Phase 4, I say Marvel sucked. Like, I couldn't stand Phase 4 overall. Like, I just couldn't stand it. But, like, what was it for you that, like, did you have high expectations of the movie and just kind of let you down in one aspect? Or what was it about the movie that kind of like, damn, that kind of sucked?
Yeah, I had high expectations. I think one of it was one issue was America Chavez. I felt like she was an entire character just for MacGuffin. Like, there's really no backstory. She just appeared out of nowhere. She was just there for the multiverse, right? To be able to access it for the story. I feel like the biggest issue for me is how disjointed Marvel is already with their storytelling. Yeah. At that point, we had already had WandaVision. I'm trying to think if we had any other movies or shows that had to do with multiverse. I think Loki had been out already, right? And even No Way Home, like, they don't connect in any way with the multiverse. They have like different versions of incidents and things happening that don't even connect, and they're all breaking the multiverse in different ways. So it really just didn't make any sense to me. The whole idea of the Marvel Cinematic Universe was to have one cohesive story told across different movies, and that's just gone out the window. Like, they've never corrected that. So there's a lot of plot holes. The biggest thing was the tease with Mr. Fantastic that kind of let me down with the casting now. But, so I mean, there's other issues, but I can go on all night. I don't want to do that.
I got to make this point. So they in this movie, like, there's the Illuminati, which is Reed Richards. There's Captain, whatever that other version of Captain Marvel, Peggy Carter. What's his face? Patrick Stewart as
Professor X.
Professor X. So you have these, and this badass Illuminati, and I think Iron Man was supposed to be on there, but they took him out. A version of him. Now, they beat Scarlet Witch in that universe, and they also beat Thanos and everything else like that. And Wanda walks in here and just wipes the floor with them. Like, not even a fight. Just plain just destroys them, just like they're sacks of potatoes. What I just find like that whole buildup for that whole scene just sucked.
I thought it was hilarious, dude. I was laughing my ass off. Like, it's like the Reed Richards, smartest guy alive, gives away their biggest like play card. I'm like, what an idiot. But that plays into the Illuminati's arrogance, though. You know what I mean? Like, we beat everybody. We use, like, with the power of Doctor Strange, their Doctor Strange, right? Using the Book of Ashanti, that was the book that they had? It's like, that's how they beat him. Yeah, that's how they beat him. They didn't beat him because, like, oh yeah, we're good together. Doctor Strange was like, no, dude, I'm going to use the Darkhold and the Book of Ashanti, tap into some wild powers, and defeat it. Now they, like, beat Wanda, who's fully engrossed and learn the ways of the dark side. Just is like, all right, bet, let's go. And it wasn't even fully powered. It was just an avatar of her.
I know, man. She beat them up even with frostbite fingers.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's true.
Just
Keith Lee says, would anybody pick up other characters from the movie if Hot Toys had made them?
Wong.
Justice for Wong.
Justice
for
for
Wong.
Wong.
your best bet is third party, my man.
Dude,
I
is there
think Professor X.
is there a character? Wait,
Professor X
before,
would've been cool. See,
is
I
there a
would've
character
grabbed
that?
this.
What'd you say?
It came with the the Evil Dead look, killed Xavier, because then I could have just put her with like the zombie Marvel figures.
What I was going to say was, is there a character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that has made more appearances than Wong, and we don't have a figure? No, he's been like in everything. Like he's been the go-to.
He's been in 8 movies.
Yeah, he's been like the go-to. Absolutely.
And how many Disney Plus series?
Yeah, and he was in She-Hulk too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's crazy. Big Dog, you might not be wrong about Wanda. What? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Big Dog says Multiverse of Madness was better than Black Adam. What's that?
No, was he in WandaVision? I wasn't sure.
No. Sorry, I was thinking of something else.
No, he was in a lot of stuff though. He was in
like 8 things.
Oh, Shang-Chi.
He was in Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
So if you count
that's one of the movies.
She-Hulk, I think it's 8 total.
Yeah, I'm counting appearances. I'm counting everything. Like I don't care what he was in. He was in
everything. No Way Home.
No Way Home.
Yeah.
Dude, he's been in like a lot. Wow, that's crazy.
He must have a pretty cheap SAG rate.
But TK592, how are you doing tonight? He says, what Feist and Body do you recommend for this? I know that there actually was someone that did a swap on the what was it? The other version where they did a seamless Feist swap. I'm not really sure. I'm not the Feist expert. Denobi's not here, unfortunately. I
was gonna make a Denobi joke there.
I'm sorry, I stole the joke from you. I apologize. I stole the Denobi joke from you.
In the chat, Monica would be able to recommend the Feist and Body.
Yeah, if Monica's still there, if Monica's in the chat, maybe you can throw some shout outs to some Feist and swaps. Although, does this need a swap? I mean, everything's covered. I know that the other version, the WandaVision, this was swapped out because of the the seamless arms and things like that to make it look better. Does this need? I don't know if this needs a swap per se. I think it looks
good luck getting that suit offer.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. And then
you could cut it from the back, but then you'd have to restitch it and everything. But I mean, to each their own. I mean, if that's what you want to do, I just don't. I agree. I don't see the point of a seamless body on this version because everything's covered.
Does anybody?
I mean, if you're going for like I guess the classic look, like sleeveless look that she has with gloves, then yeah, definitely. Or if you just want double jointed arms, I mean, you could do it that way. But it seems like from the posing, it looks like
she comes with double jointed elbows.
Yeah.
Is anybody posing this in the sitting position? Because I'm scared to do that.
Dude, I was just thinking the same thing.
They made this figure for that posing. Like they remastered the legs. They redid the legs and everything so that way you could actually do the posing.
But the fabric's the fabric, man.
The fabric's.
No, it's right here. That's what's killing me.
The creasing's horrible.
The creasing is what's bothering me.
And then if you push it too much or probably leave it too long, then the threading might start to give way.
Did they do any of that posing in the video? The first look?
They did. Yep, they did.
Probably better than you can see because in pictures they can Photoshop a lot of that stuff out.
Terry, there it is right there. Terry posed it.
Good old Terry, dude. Dude knows how to do it.
Oh, so you have the magnetic flaps that allow you
to. If Terry did it, then I trust it.
There it is.
Dude, it looks 1-to-1, man. I mean, it doesn't look too bad.
No, I just wonder how long to keep it in that pose. I mean, and because the thing is, like I said, I have the regular and I want to get the deluxe, and I kind of feel like if you get the deluxe, like it should be in that floating pose, but I don't want I almost want to have it like the crotch, dude. Like, man, if there's one thing that Hot Toys has got to go back to the drawing board, and they won't do it because it's cheap as shit and it's just easy to do, are those stupid waist grabbers. Like they're just garbage, like absolute garbage, and I can't stand them.
They ruin figures left and right.
They eat up the material.
You know what? I just realized, this just reminded me. I was packing up my figures and just and getting ready to move them over because I'm doing my new display studio there, and I had Gamora, the first Gamora from the first movie there, and I had her in a museum pose. Basically, I wouldn't bend her arms or anything like that, just because like I saw some of the like early on, I saw some people like post like, oh, the because they started getting pretty extreme with it, they were splitting. And I have a couple Fison figures too, like, and never had that issue with it whatsoever. And I got some crazy posing and stuff going on with the Fison stuff. And so I finally moved the figure. I was boxing it up just to kind of to transport it correctly, and it fucking split. Like it was just sit there in a Maji case, and it's there, and the arm split like at the seam, by the elbow.
And you never articulated it?
Never articulated once.
That's just
Just deteriorated on its own.
Yeah.
Just someone casted a spell, was like, you know what? I hate Halorian. I'm gonna.
And the funny thing is,
write
like,
a letter to a voodoo prince.
I'm here in the desert
Your
in Las
Gamma
Vegas.
Gamora.
Yeah. And like, I mean, pleather does not.
The Darkhold.
Yeah.
Yeah, and pleather lasts forever here in the desert. Like you don't have to do any 505 or whatever that crap is.
303, 505,
303, whatever the hell that is. Like you don't have to. Like,
309,
Nate's over there doing
7,
like every weekend massaging his figures with 303. Yeah. No, like
he's dipping them like what's his name in the liquid.
Yeah, for like, but yeah, like I saw it. It was tearing. I never moved it once since I set it up out of the box.
Yeah.
And is that the only seamless figure that happens to you with?
That's the only. Yeah, well, that's the only one that I noticed that started deteriorating. But that was, I think that was Hot Toys' first.
Is it Guardians of the Galaxy 1? Gamora? Yeah. That shit, that was whack, dude. It's like the Guardians of the Galaxy 1 like line, like they're not built to last. Like the only one is like Groot.
Not.
Like Groot is like made out of like, it's just all plastic. You can do whatever the hell you want with them. You could throw them, like you could chuck them at somebody when you're having road rage and it'll still be all right. Like everyone else, like if you look at like Peter Quill's jacket, that thing flakes like a mofo. It's like worse than the Dark Knight, the Nightmare Batman jacket, or even I'll do you one better, the Bane jacket. You have that. Oh, good luck, dude.
Oh, you know what I got, and I was expecting it. I was like, I heard the Nightmare is the Terminator, the battle damage one. That one.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one like that hasn't flaked, but like no, it's still holding strong.
Yeah, same here. I got the 1300.
Yeah, I got the battle damage T800 from Terminator 1, and the jacket's still fine.
Yeah,
no issue.
I think, dude, people are just greasing them up. They're just like eating too many Cheetos and like lacing those freaking jackets up. Be like, let me like get into there. I'm like, bro, that's why we see a lot of streamers when they unbox, they wear gloves. You can see like your oily hands. Get out of here with that.
Eating fried chicken before handling these toys.
I know you Southern boys love them fried chicken, man, but just wait.
I do.
Wait, just wait a second. Either eat before, wash your hands, or just unbox and then eat afterwards. Don't do both at the same time.
But I'm trying to keep the leather moisturized.
Not the right moisture, dude.
Yeah. Hot Toys' old seamless formula was just terrible. That stuff would crack all the time. So
well,
it makes sense.
Speaking of, we're gonna switch focus to this piece. What is this? Keaton Carr 89 says, "How long before Jazzinc attempt the Jawa Sandcrawler underside?" Well,
tomorrow.
Yeah, that's. We're gonna make a poll. He's gonna make a poll about it, and 200 people are gonna vote on it.
Yeah, he's actually watching now. I know for a fact, and he's gonna be coming on. He's like, "Hey guys, what do you guys think about Sandcrawler?" Done, and then everyone's $10,000.
There you go.
Is that like a diorama version or?
I don't know, man.
I have no idea.
I mean, it's a lot, probably. I was just joking. I don't know. Is he making a Sandcrawler?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he really is.
No, he is.
Don't get my hopes up.
No,
I mean, you can get like a Mattel Sandcrawler and just do like a, and put it in the background. So it has like a forced perspective.
MCY Statues just did a Sandcrawler. It looks phenomenal. I don't know if you guys are anybody that does that's into statues or custom statues. MCY or MYC. Yeah. They're on Facebook. Look them up, man. They did one with just a regular base and one with the desert Tatooine base with the in the canyon. Oh man, it looks so good.
Yeah. I'll see if I can grab a picture or something right there. But it does. You're right, man. He always puts out pretty quality stuff, like very interesting stuff. Personally, I haven't had anything on my hands, so I don't know.
Oh yeah,
how
I'm
it
like I'm
translates.
waiting for that Falcon to go on pre-order. That'll be my first one.
Let us know, man.
If you find anything, send me a link on Facebook, V. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, I can send it to you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hey Lauren, you got it.
While we're doing that, let's talk about the next announcement. The announcement that some said they predicted this was going to happen, and I call bullshit. I honestly think that nobody thought this was going to happen. And we wake up and we see the Ahsoka Tano, the Padawan version from the show. And yeah, the reaction was everyone was quite stunned. Like they didn't think that they were going to do it. And here we go. I got to say, guys, I got a couple things. I'll save it for last, for say, because I did make a video on this that got shit on pretty hard. Save that for last. It's actually historic. It's actually to date, out of 240 something videos I've made on YouTube, it is the most disliked video on my YouTube channel.
Heck yeah, dude! That means that you made it. Yeah, that's a great thing. People watch your stuff that hate you
are just skyrocketing on it. But it's the most disliked video. I have thoughts that I will hold furthermore to re-explain myself at the end. I would rather wait till the end because I will save it. But number one, some things that maybe I didn't touch on. Figure looks really great, obviously, in terms of just the quality of the piece. I think they nailed it. For those who are so excited about this, I did pre-order 1 or 2 figures. I'm done with Ahsoka line. I think I was talking today with someone about this, where I have a lot of thoughts, and some of them may be right or wrong. I'm a little shocked how deep they're going in on this line. I am personally, just personally.
All right.
I am.
I want to hear you. I want to hear it.
Yeah, you know, for those and V, like me, yeah. Since you came in last, I'll jump to you on this, and you can just kind of, you can pivot. I am shocked. Now, to be fair, I didn't watch any Clone Wars stuff before this. I'm a person that went into the show. I'm not totally ignorant. I knew what was going on, but I did not watch any backstory. So just bear in mind my point of view. And when Disney was making the show, they had to have understand, you're going to have people that, obviously the fanatics, that, when I say that in a nice way, the fans of the Clone Wars and all that stuff, they're going to eat this stuff up. But there are going to be people that are going to attempt to watch this show for the first time. They're going to be a little alienated, like, what's going on here? It's fair. It is what it is. You can't stop people from watching the show. I didn't really care for the show overall. I watched the whole thing, thought it was a little slow and what it is, but it's just my opinion. I am surprised, though, that they're going that deep on the line of figures. If I had to choose right now 2 figures that I would want from the show, there's 3. There's 4 figures I would want from the show. I would want Balin, who I think they might save for last if they even end up doing Balin. Who was his apprentice? I can't think of her name.
Shin.
I'd want her. I have Thrawn on order, and if they do Anakin, I'll do Anakin. Those are the 4 and that's it. Call it a day.
Which Anakin, though?
We'll see what we get. It might be more than one.
I mean, yeah,
it might be more than one. If we do anything I'll leave it at Anakin. We'll call it that way. If it means there's multiple Anakins, then that's what it is. But that being said, like, I honestly get the feeling this could be another like Mando thing where people bought up all the Mando stuff and then some stuff sits around for a little bit because there's just a lot of figures that they're making on this. I mean, just a lot of figures. But once again, I'm not here to shit on people's parade. I've seen a lot of excitement, and I'm happy for you guys. The one thing I love about it is if collectors are happy about stuff, that makes me happy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. With that said, though, like, yeah, it's a lot of figures, but it's the quantity is not there like it was for Mando.
Which season?
So they're doing smaller batches.
Like
at least for Mando season 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Season 3 shit the bed.
Yeah.
Season 3 was the accessory for Hot Toys. They did all the accessories for Hot Toys. That was
season 3 was like, we might fire Pedro. We're trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know.
Even Howard was like, maybe we don't make too many figures.
Yeah. It might be there, it might not be.
Talk about season 3 of Mando. Oh, Book of Bo-Katan. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But V, what do you saw this, man? What were your thoughts initially when you saw it?
If this is going to be your,
and have it changed since then to now? Like, have you time to stew on it? Like, you feel the same way?
Yeah. No, like, my first thought was like, this would be wild as if this is your first hot toy you ever get, because if you run, I was like, hey mom, look what I got, and dad, like, I got a Jedi, and you're looking at it, it's like, that's a child. Why do you have a child toy there? That's kind of weird. But like, if you're like a huge diehard fan of like Ahsoka and you want like a live action version, it's pretty sweet. Like you finally have like a 1-to-1 scale on the screen that you could put in like the Clone Wars, because they're doing the whole line. Like everybody's getting their live action version. Like, you know, you got a General Kenobi, looks like, you know, Ewan McGregor, right? You can put him with there. You know, you have Hayden Christensen, all that stuff. So now the real thing is like you got you have Clone Wars Ahsoka that came out, right? That's, you know, what do you do with that? Because that was supposed to be the 1-to-1, right? That was supposed to be the realistic version. So I have that in my collection. It's like, where's your loyalty lines? Like, does it line with the show or the Clone Wars show? Like, that's kind of like the standpoint. It's like, do you want something that kind of fits in with the whole line? Because that Ahsoka kind of sticks out a bit. That's still being cartoony, but she is an alien, so you can kind of get away with that.
Yeah.
Dude, did they literally bring back the sand base, but they just changed the paint?
There's no footprints in it.
Still the sand base.
Still makes no sense though, because
it's darker.
Yeah, it's darker.
Repainted sand base, but no footprint.
Check it out, dude. I got it right here. Let's see. See, it's a little bit. You can see it. It's a little dark. It's you got a light skin. Cult of V is killing it.
Cult of V, yeah, Cult of
Yeah,
V.
Made it there. But you can see a little bit there.
Calm down. Stop chanting.
Now, man,
I'm one of those followers. Hold on. I better stop chanting. My bad, boss.
It's all good, dude. Everybody's welcome to Cult of V.
I'm sorry, boss.
The one thing I do like, there's two things that actually I do like. I like they gave her the goggles, because that's a throwback to like anybody, like to the show. Like you don't expect that. She didn't have goggles in the show, in the Ahsoka show. So I love that they put that in there. And two, I do like how Hot Toys can surprise us. They throw stuff out there.
It was a
you didn't
curveball.
expect.
It was a curveball, man. That's why, like, I don't like. It was a curveball. I will say, like, it was. That's the best thing I can say. I think, you know, it was definitely a curve. And correct me if I'm wrong. This goes to show you my ignorance. When you call out the goggles in the sense of like how they weren't on there, that's kind of like, wasn't it with Padme where she was wearing like that tunic or her like that helmet piece? Wasn't that like in the show, the cartoon show or something like that? And the Hot Toys,
it was in the cartoon
figure.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like mixing stuff to kind of give people an overall complete look for these figures. So it's like a little bit of a,
like Cad Bane, right? The deluxe version comes with a little robot.
Yeah, the robot.
Saw that.
Yeah, Toto.
Yeah, Toto was from the animated series.
Yeah.
I got you.
So they're doing like amalgamations. They're mixing.
I got you.
That way the collector can make their determination on what they want it. Do they want it representing the animated or the live action?
Carlos, I got to ask you. So I'll ask you obviously your opinions on this, but when you see this photo here, I know a lot of people are screaming Artisan Anakin. We already have an Artisan Anakin.
God, I hope not.
Do you think that this could just be playing tricks with us? You know what I mean? Because Hot Toys has done that before where they staged photos. It does look a little bit different of a figure compared to the one that was on Sideshow. It does look like a little. I'm not going into the nuances of it, but in your opinion, when you saw this, I mean, you can give me the overall thoughts of the figure, the Ahsoka, obviously, because I know we talked about it and you had some really good points about it, specifically in terms of, you know, I'll say it. I'll be the one to say it. You know, was this character really? I mean, I'm gonna get alienated if I say it, but we had a conversation about whether or not it was really.
I'll say it. It's fine.
Was that?
I said I'll say it.
No, you could say it.
Yeah. So I am a Clone Wars fan. So for context, right? I'm a Clone Wars fan, and I also like the what was the show that came after Clone Rebels show, cartoon series. Yeah. I like both of those shows. My major issue with the series overall is I feel like this series and Mando season 3 are going down the sequel trilogy rabbit hole. You know, they're just doubling down on it. So those are my issues with the story. So I wasn't a big fan of the series. That said, I feel like Ahsoka, I like the character, but to me, she's a C tier character when it comes to Star Wars. And I know it's a hot take for some people.
There, don't worry.
Yeah, you got Anakin Skywalker, Luke Skywalker, and maybe Vader as A tier, and then Han Solo's, Leia's, and characters like supporting characters as B tier. And she's an interesting character, but she's not that important overall. I don't need every representation of her. So I have my Mandalorian Ahsoka, and I have the Clone Wars Ahsoka. I'm good with that. The Ahsoka the White looks really good, so that is tempting me. But this is like a really specific look for Ahsoka. It's supposed to harken back to Clone Wars. It's a flashback in live action, but we already have a live action style looking Ahsoka based on the cartoon series, and it's just where do you draw the line, right, with all these figures? So she's kind of really specific for me from a 5-minute scene in the series. So I mean, no hate towards anybody that wants this. I know a lot of people are excited about it, but it's just not for me.
I mean, it was probably the best 5 minutes in the whole series.
True.
This one segment, like I was like, oh, this is it. This is where the money went to.
Well, also to kind of counter your point too, Carlos, is that in the context of it, I mean, I'll pull it up, and $255 if you get it from Sideshow, assuming because of $255, and then you add tax and shipping, you're talking about like a $285 figure. And I think that's kind of what it was. Like if you're all in on the series, and that's what I'm saying is I can just look at stuff like $285 for this, or it could be for something else. But as I said, if you're all in on the series, then it's almost like one of those that you have to get it, but it just depends.
I mean, the thing is, going back to when you say like A tier, B tier, and C tier, it depends when you started Star Wars. Like kids started Star Wars with the prequels and then transitioned right into Clone Wars, right? So after the movies were done, you got Clone Wars, and they kept watching after this, and Ahsoka was their guy, a girl, whatever. And so to have this, be like, no, man, this is A tier. Like I need every their Luke Skywalker. This is like their the 1-to-1. Like I need every single person of Ahsoka to show up. Like
totally agree on that. I mean, I'm an '80s kid, right? So I grew up with the original trilogy, and I'm one of the few people in my generation that actually enjoyed the prequel. So I get it. I'm not knocking it. It's just for me and my mindset, my collection, what I'm looking at, and honestly, like my opinions, a lot of it are going to be based on like all the announcements and releases we're going to be getting. I mean, we're getting pounded with stuff. I mean, the end of the year last year for me was insane with just boxes getting shipped to my house. So it gets to the point where you have to start being more selective, and I've gotten to that point like within the last year. I feel got a lot more selective on what I pre-order, what I buy, and sacrifices have to be made. You have to make choices, and for me, she's not that important of a character, in my opinion, for myself. But I get it. A lot of people really love Ahsoka. She's a really popular character for a lot of newer viewers.
Yeah, of course. And good news for fans. Marvel is dead, pretty much. And then you got DC rebooting. So you're like, screw everything. We're out. Star Wars are like, all right, let's see what you got. What's left here?
Well, good. V, you make a good point. And I want to ask Sean this. Sean, I want to ask you a question. And
Star Wars is dead.
Yeah, well, let me ask you a question, though, Sean.
Yeah.
Let me phrase this so I don't sound like an idiot, but anything I say, I sound idiotic at times.
We've all been there.
Yeah. Yep. There's not a lot of cinematic material coming out this year, right? We've got Deadpool. There's not much going on, pretty much.
Savior of the MCU.
Yeah, but that being said, though, anything from Hot Toys that we get right now, do you think that collectors are just clamoring at the bits to like just give me something? Like if an announcement comes out, even if it's like maybe realistically not crazy, we're kind of maybe overhyping it just because we're just thirsty for stuff because there isn't a lot of cinematic material to make from. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
a lot of us were talking about like, oh, they're going to go 2.0s and reissues this year because there's not a lot of new material to make from, because a lot of these projects are like 5-6 years out with DC and stuff like that. So do you think that some of these announcements might get maybe blown out of proportion more than they should be just because we're thirsty for announcements?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like the true test will be is like when Acolyte gets released in June. Will there be figures from it? We didn't get figures from Andor, did we? No. There's a lot of MCU shows that didn't get figures from either. So yeah, there's a pretty much a hold stop on MCU because they're retooling. Star Wars, I mean, they can't get a cinematic movie out to save their lives. Thank you, KK. But I mean, and the one that they're coming out with is Mando and Grogu. Like, I mean, okay, I'm pretty sure everyone has their fill of Mando and Grogu. I got more Grogus. I got more of those little Grogus than I know what to do with. They're like littered all over the place. Like, I mean, it's just crazy. So, like, I mean, yeah, you're gonna get a little everyone's going to get a little excited. But I think where most of the excitement's going to come is like when we start dipping back into like the original trilogy and the prequels. That's where the excitement's going to be. It's not going to be for any of this new Disney schlock.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with you on that. I just hope that, I've seen people, that's why I wonder how much of it is contractual obligations, like with Disney Plus, because I know I've seen people say, like, we've got, how many figures from Ahsoka do we have now? We have at least like 8 or 9 figures, right? At least.
There's a bingo card.
Way more.
I know there's a card out there floating around. People are putting X's on everything. I know.
Yeah, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, not 10.
There's 10 figures, and I know people will turn around and say,
we still didn't get Balin, Shin, the robot dude.
The Night
no, we still
Sister,
haven't gotten
Hua Young.
And we're gonna get that other guy that they were searching for. Ezra Miller, yeah.
No, that's Jabba.
I mean,
not the Flash, dude.
Not Ezra.
Yeah, not Ezra Miller, dude. He's not gonna go around choke slamming dudes.
The figures we got and we don't get, and they don't put out an Ezra. That's gonna be insane.
They're like, hey, brown dudes don't sell.
Right, the whole show was about them trying to find Ezra, and they don't make the figure of him. Aww.
Still finding them, dude.
Yeah,
and the funny,
they're still looking for him.
Yeah.
The funny thing is,
a lightsaber.
the 3 figures that I wanted most from that line, they didn't put out, which was the droid, Balin, and Shin.
Yeah.
Those were the 3 figures I wanted the most from that line.
We'll see what happens about Balin. He might be the last one they announce. Who knows?
I don't know.
I mean,
the amount this is going, dude. I feel like the Ahsoka line is gonna keep going. Like, we didn't expect any of these. Like, the amount of stuff that we were expecting, like maybe 4, maybe 3, like of this line. Given that Hot Toys is past experiences, like now they're like, hey, you want lines? You want us to finish lines? And Howard's throwing his massive cock down and be like, all right, I'll finish a line, dude. I'll bend over and open your wallet. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing right now.
Well, if he really wants you to bend over, he'll do the witch one where like, and it's interchangeable.
The
so
3 witches, right?
Them.
The 3 witches.
Yes, yeah. See?
Sisters.
That's what's going on, man. Howard's coming strong, dude. You don't mess with this.
Yeah.
I feel, but love or hate it, this show, what they're doing with this line gives you hope for everything else that they're doing, right? Like anytime you see a group picture of any like family friendly people, they're like, hey, the Guardians, it's like now it doesn't seem like a lost dream that the Guardians Volume 3 isn't going to be coming out. Like I feel like that will happen, just not at the moment.
I'm losing hope on that one, honestly.
Seriously, you think they're
Damn it, Carlos,
going to finish that line?
Be like that?
There's no way they're going to finish that line.
And they finished Guardians of the Galaxy 3 out by all the figures, but
Dude, they've never finished a Guardians of the Galaxy.
There's a better chance
ever.
of Bespin Han Solo Empire Strikes Back coming out than finishing that line.
I feel it, man.
Paul Morales saying hello, everybody.
Paul.
Hope you're doing
What's
well.
going on, Paul?
Hope you're doing well, man.
How was your day, Paul?
And then Hot Toys Nightmare. I know you said hello before, but I just wanted to call out saying Ahsoka wearing the goggles when she was in the gunner seat of the Bark Speeder. I know you said hi before, Sean. I hope you're doing well out there, buddy. Hope you're doing well.
What's up, man? It's always good to hear from you.
Kevin says, number 5 on Sideshow bestsellers. Enough said. Well,
ooh, all right, Stanley.
And Eric says 2025 will be another slow year also, even though more stuff is coming out.
No, I won't.
Nice comic reference.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Striker,
smooth operator operating correctly.
Striker 47 says, when it comes to Star Wars, it is for every generation fan, whether it's original trilogy, prequel trilogy, or the new generation of Star Wars. It was for every age demographic. You're not wrong. Not wrong at all. Not wrong at all, my friend. Just going through some comments, just trying to see if anyone is calling out. Let's see. Yeah, just everyone having a good conversation back and forth. I do appreciate the Keith Lee says July is going to be rough. That's when all the basically Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, if I can talk, figures are releasing. Well, the other thing that's going to be happening is we're going to now be moving into Batman Flash territory, because I made my first payment on the 89 Batman and my Batmobile is almost paid off. And those figures. So we're really going to be going into a wave where we're going to start getting hit with invoices, or payment plans are going to start kicking in for all the Flash figures. And the summer is going to be the summer of Batman, pretty much. Speaking of C&B, I know I didn't mention much about Ahsoka. Did you have any thoughts on Ahsoka to wrap up this conversation before we move on to something else?
No, I'm gonna be selective. Like I'm just like everybody else. I think I'm getting like Thrawn and maybe Ahsoka the Voice. I don't know. Like I wasn't really impressed with the show. Like I want Balin obviously and Shin Hati, and Merrick I didn't really care for. I mean, we saw them all for 5 seconds, and then he got turned into damn smoke.
And we got a figure of that though. We got a figure of that.
So I mean, I'm really not like invested in the Ahsoka line, so I don't really have anything to say. Like I just really pretty much want Thrawn and the 2 Sith that were not Sith, but were hinted at being Sith.
You never know. Could be the first grade. Well, whatever.
Or they could have been the first versions of the Great Jedi that they're trying to introduce in the show. That think of the way, you know what I'm saying? Like the bad guys. I want the bad guys.
Yeah, everyone loves bad guys, dude. You gotta have. It's like what's He-Man without Skeletor?
We don't get enough bad guys. Actually.
Yeah,
man.
And Hot Toys Nightmare, he says right there, this has been a fast year for Hot Toys. It's only February 26th, and we have 18 releases. I'm actually trying to keep up. I actually keep the releases on my phone because I'm going to do like a quarterly video where I go back and recap like my favorite announcements and releases. That's crazy. Like we already have 18 releases and 2 months in so far. So Hot Toys is absolutely killing it. And channel member appreciated Bat Dad, fantastic name, love it. And I mentioned Batman, and he's throwing up the bats there, so I really appreciate it, my friend. I hope you're doing well. I don't know if you can see him, Michael Keaton, the greatest Batman of all. He's right there. He's perched in the corner. He's sitting there. He's standing guard. But
well, dude, what are you talking about? George Clooney was the greatest Batman ever.
No, Val Kilmer. Everyone forgets Val. I hate it.
Oh, don't
justice for Val, baby.
But don't forget, like like Hot Toys has like been releasing Fast and Furious, but man, like I think it's like 6 or 7 releases in Hong Kong, and I haven't even got the notices yet by Sideshow. That's gonna hurt,
dude. Guys, I'm scared. Like I got Toby, the Batman, Catwoman. I got Padme. I got C-3PO, Black Adam. Like those are invoices I'm waiting. Like I'm waiting.
Let's go. Just sell your body on the streets, dude, like I do. It's fine.
All right. Full stop. Mr. Mall, what made you get Black Adam?
To be honest with you, a couple things.
Did you love the movie?
I actually like the movie.
Bro,
okay, if you like the movie, then I'll give it to you.
No. So I went in with 0 expectations. Like none. I don't think The Rock is a great actor, so I'm like, all right. I went in with no expectations. Believe it or not, I walked out mildly, like it was an enjoyable movie. Like I walked out with like, oh, okay. And to be honest with you, when are we ever gonna? I have a thing for actors like The Rock. Like, when are you ever gonna get like another Hot Toy of The Rock? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty badass to me. And not for nothing, Hot Toys killed the figure. Like, it is a badass looking figure.
It's a nice figure.
It's a badass looking figure.
It's
definitely one of those. It's not for everybody, but it's definitely a badass looking figure.
Anybody will look at that figure and say, "Damn, that's The Rock."
Yeah, it definitely has some presence.
Yeah, you get a little rock hard if you know what I mean.
Sure, you can literally use the extra head sculpt to make any other version of Dwayne Johnson from movies that he's done.
You can make Jumanji. You can
Wait,
make,
am I the only one here on the panel that's doing The Rock?
You could make Jungle Cruise.
Yeah,
make Jungle Cruise. I call that Steamboat Willie Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
Carlos, are you getting The Rock?
Yeah,
you're getting.
Hell
The Rock,
yeah!
Right? Wait, hold on. What version? What version V are you getting? Both?
Yeah.
You're falling.
Dude, I didn't want to look. I originally ordered the gold suit on Sideshow, canceled it because I saw it wasn't coming with the we came with the regular
cloak. I know.
Cloak. And when I saw the figure release, I just couldn't help myself. I went and I ordered the golden armor because that's the look I like.
Yeah.
But I needed the cloak, and I know it's just going to be a hassle to get on the aftermarket parted out. That's going to be like a grail accessory, I feel, moving forward for anyone that has the figure. It's going to be like that Goblin. Limited Goblin sculpt that everybody's looking for their upgraded suit.
Yeah.
Goblin. So,
dude, you'd be better off paying for
sorry, that's going to be a grail right up there with Morbius.
Yeah, you'd be better off though paying for the regular black armor Black Adam just for the cloak, because resellers going to charge like $250 for the cloak. So what's an extra $100 to get everything else?
They can eat it. I'll have my nanny like sew me something, like you get her into a sweatshop, be like, "You need to do this right now," and then have me have a cloak.
But even like X-Men Supreme says, Black Adam's a great looking figure. It just you know what the problem is with him is that it's an expensive piece, number one. But it's also coming at a point where there's just a lot of other figures. Like you got it, like C-3PO or Black Adam.
C-3PO. No, Mr. Mom. I think what the problem was the movie was so bad. It was the worst movie ever.
Whoa, dude. Okay. Wait, hold on. Let me explain. Wait, hold on. Let me explain.
Just let me. I'm going to sum up the movie.
Go ahead.
In just one scene.
Let's hear it.
The entire movie was The Rock floating with the people's eyebrow.
That's great. Go on. I love it. Even better. That's a great impression.
That's all he does. He just has this weird look on his face, and he just floats the whole entire movie. He just floats.
Right.
Floats around
Rings movie,
with the raised eyebrow.
They explained it in Clerks 2. It was a trilogy of people walking.
Yeah,
I'm putting up the hate alert.
Lord of the Rings trilogy is looked at as a great movie, and they summed it up in Clerks 2.
Got the hate fashion going on here.
Bro, this is great.
Have you seen Madam Web?
Oh, God, no.
I've heard about it.
That's what I'm saying. You can't say it's the worst movie ever if you haven't watched all the movies.
I'm pretty sure
I watched all those movies. It's. I mean,
look, I've seen enough hate videos on YouTube to know that.
That man, that's saying like you have a collection and like, hey, I just watch reviews though. It's like, what was the collection?
I actually saw Black Adam. I'm not going to see
Mandalorian. He doesn't even have to watch the movie. It's like Dragon Ball Z Genki Dama. He feeds off everybody's hate energy. It makes him stronger. So,
the best part,
Sean just sits at home and he goes, "That movie sucked. I can feel it. I'm getting so much stronger."
Right.
The best part of Black Adam.
Let's see how many Hot Toy figures that Howard makes of Madam Web.
You probably get one.
You ain't getting nothing.
You're getting the contractual obligation.
You ain't getting nothing.
You're not getting nothing from that movie, dude. Howard's like,
Sean, how much do you think you're getting from Craven?
It depends, man. I mean, I like that actor. That was the guy from he was in that other superhero movie. He
was in Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass, yeah. So he's a good actor. I want that movie to be good. So I'm waiting to see, but I mean, I have no expectations for that. It's a Sony off-brand of Spider-Man. If you don't put Spider-Man in it, it's gonna suck. That's just the rule of thumb with Sony off. Well,
Sony keeps trying to turn villains into anti-heroes.
I mean,
which makes no sense. Like, when was Craven ever an anti-hero?
I don't know.
Yeah, he was in bed for.
They'll probably have a recent run where Craven.
I stand corrected. Yeah, if he wasn't floating, he was in bed.
I'm more interested in Sony dropping a Rhino figure from the Craven movie than I am of Craven.
Dude, talk about Craven. I want I want the Spider-Man game Craven.
Yeah, I want that version of Craven. That's comic book Craven, man. That's Craven.
Yeah, Sony's been knocking it out of the park with their like game figures for sure.
Yep.
100%.
I'm interested what they're going to continue with that one.
Venom?
They got some good villains they could put into it. But they didn't do it with the first one. You had Electro in the first one, Doc Ock. They didn't give any of those villains out a fair share. It's only this one we got Venom for the first time.
Yep, that was it.
I don't know. I just never liked that recent Venom that they came out. Everyone was praising it. I just didn't feel it. Like, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm just a purist because like I want the McFarlane Venom.
Yes.
Yes, the '90s Venom, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
dude. McFarlane even like in a sly way, he trashed the Sony Venom.
Good.
Yeah, he did.
Deserves
I
to be
saw
trashed.
that. He threw salt, but he said it in like such a nonchalant way.
I'll show you a video if you want. What's his name?
I mean, it isn't fucking any of the Venoms we know from the comics. Like that Eddie Brock is not the Eddie Brock that was introduced to us, or even still is.
Yeah. Yeah, and Todd McFarlane is literally the one person that actually gets to have a say-so because that's his creation.
Yeah. Well,
So he was asked on. I'm gonna pull this video up real fast. This is so off topic.
Yeah, he's gonna.
No. I'll go off topic. but check it out. So obviously know that he created Venom, he drew Venom, and on his YouTube channel he would do quick like 5-minute videos where he'd be like, I'll show you how to sketch how I draw Batman. He would sit there on his tablet and draw anybody. So this is just a video of him drawing Venom, which is pretty cool because he's been asked many times, hey, can you do, you know, a Venom figure? And it's funny because he was interviewed about Venom, and he said the one thing that aggravated him the most about Venom was like it just didn't look like his Venom. Like the eyes weren't the way they were, the teeth weren't. I mean, the teeth and everything were good, but he was really disappointed. And he actually did a video. I'm trying to find the video on his YouTube channel where he here it is. He tweaks Venom. He tweaks the actual Venom drawing. So here you go. So this is, he pulls up the still and he's like, oh yeah, it looks great and all, but I'm gonna make it a little bit better and show you like if I could have like designed Venom for the game, the show, the movie, what it would have looked like. So he literally takes the still and completely redesigns it, and it's like, holy shit. I'm like, that's how I wish Venom was. Like I really wish
that's his baby.
Look, see, he doesn't like how the eyes are, so he's there like retweaking it, and like he does a really good job of doing it. I'm like, damn, like I wish he did it. Well, you guys continue. Yeah, see, like he.
Oh man,
like you see
just
how
there. Yeah, just right there. It's like
that
just
alone
enough.
just makes it right
That's
there.
it.
Yeah, look at that right there. There you go. There's 90s Venom. There's Todd's baby right there.
Yep.
Like literally, that just changed it right there. That's all he had to do.
And Todd's Venom didn't have the long ass tongue.
Yeah, and they need to get away with this.
That was
freaking
who
tongue.
else was that? That was a different artist that came after Todd. That gave
that was the
Eric
guy-
Larson.
Yeah. He's the one that started the whole tongue thing.
Yeah, he started off being a copycat of McFarlane, but then he kind of grew into his own. But to be fair, comic book geek, little bit of comic book geek from the past. It was the Marvel themselves essentially told him to draw like McFarlane, and then once he started getting a good following, then he was able to grow into his own style.
Dude,
Yeah.
Look at that though. Like that's crazy.
Oh yeah, that's night and day already.
Like he just, and I remember I watched the video. He was talking about the jawline more narrow, things like that. But just switch, like that's crazy. Like if that was a realistic Venom, like that's probably the best that you would have gotten. And what can you say? It's coming from the guy who created him.
Yeah.
That's like, so, look at that. Look.
So I think the reason for movie standards, the reason they probably couldn't design it that way is because the mocap. The way like they filmed the face, right? It's the same way like the Spider-Man 2 face got changed, is because like that is how they record it and how it emulates onto the character, the 3D model. So that's why it has like a very humanoid face than a like, you know, this narrow, big, long jawed, because they probably couldn't animate it enough or quick enough or whatever the hell it is. It's cheaper to do it that way. That's probably the bottom line why they had it that way, because they went with Todd McFarlane's all this stuff and creations and all that stuff in their background.
So, all right, guys, I'm gonna switch topics up here because Carlos isn't talking enough. I know he's sitting there.
I know. Calm down, Carlos. God,
I
you're
know.
taking
Don't
over.
worry.
Carlos, can you shut up?
Taking it all in.
You're
Give
talking
us
way
a
too
chance
much.
to
Man.
talk. Damn.
Yeah.
All right, no one else talk except Carlos.
No. I'm not putting him on the spot, man. Carlos, don't worry. So we're gonna switch gears. I was gonna save this topic for last. We'll end with like, I don't know, Darth Vader or something like that, because I'm sure everyone's excited about Darth Vader. It's been talked about 1,000,001 times. So this topic is why I brought together Carlos, V doesn't even really know about what I'm about to say, and Hey Lorian. But when we were talking, Carlos, V, and myself, I think one of the person, it was like last week,
And together we form Voltron.
Yeah, right. Megatron.
With our powers combined.
Yeah. Wait, scrunchy power. Wait, where's your scrunchies? Scrunchy
Squad
power.
activate.
But no, we had a really good discussion about Jazzinc. We were talking about, I think we were talking about the animated Batmobile, or we were just talking about in general. Actually,
that's how it started.
So, yeah, and it wasn't we weren't hating. We were just being really subjective, just having a really great conversation. Monica, do not talk about Voltron.
There's me and Monica. We know,
dude.
Do not trigger me.
I need my sunglasses on. If you get it, Monica.
But the whole thing is that we were having a really great conversation, and I was like, maybe we should just take it online. I was like, damn, I wish we had Sean involved in this too, because Sean, he missed last week's stream when we talked about, we were going to talk about the animated Batmobile from Jazzinc, because there was some updates to it. And like, I just want to kind of pick up on that conversation, V, that we had last week and kind of open it up. And then we also have Rudy's video, Rudy's 1/6 scale world. He did a very awesome review on the 22 Batmobile. And it's honestly probably, I would arguably say, one of the most honest reviews that I've seen on a product in a very long time. And you really go through his saw. Now I'll drop the link and to Rudy's video, because it's a lot of him talking. We don't want to talk over it, but you really got to watch that video, because it really goes through his, like, you could literally, I think we've all seen it separately. Like Carlos, you've seen it. Sean, like CMB has seen it. You could literally watch his thought process as he's on video. Like watch him, like his thought, like going through it all. And it's, you don't get enough honesty, honestly, with YouTube and stuff. Honestly, you don't get a lot of honesty and transparency. And with that review, it really was really great. So what I want to do, and Carlos, I'm gonna, like I said, you get your vocal cords ready, because I'm gonna get you to talk. But I think we started talking about this. So last week, Jazzinc announced their next Batmobile project that was voted on. That was a conversation that we had in itself. And it's, like I said, it's the it's going to be the animated Batmobile, from the cartoon show. And it brought up a whole whirlwind of conversation, in terms of its size, the design of the car, how realistic, how animated, like it was just like a whole thing back and forth. Now, Carlos, you have Jazzinc products, so that's why, you have something to speak about. Hey DeLorean, you have Jazzinc products to speak about. I have the 89 Batmobile on order. V, do you have anything or no?
No, I don't.
You don't.
So
do you have anything on order with them, or were you ever interested?
I was interested. In a lot of this stuff, but I'll let you guys go first.
Yeah, and then CMB, we know where you stand.
Yep.
But initially, Carlos, I mean, I guess there's no right way to start this conversation, because this one might eat up a little bit of time, because this one was a really good combo we had. But I did want to post this photo here, but there was a video below here where Yost kind of like gave us an update on the project. And to be honest with you, you guys can watch the video, it's on his group. He wasn't full steam ahead on it. He didn't say no to the project, but he kind of talked about what was going on. And Carlos, the one thing that shocked me, as out of like how many people, 14,900 members, he said that the animated Batmobile was the winner with a total of 360 votes. 360 people out of 14,000.
I'm a little concerned with that, honestly. I think, like you said, we spoke about it. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm not knocking anybody that wants an animated Batmobile from the animated series, but number one, there's no way of vetting any of those people that voted in the first place. Obviously, the first issue is such a small sample of all the people on his group. Second, how many of those people that actually voted are in it to actually buy it? I mean, that's a huge undertaking and financial risk to produce, a vehicle like that with all the R&D, all the money, all the molds that go into putting these pieces together. There's got to be a better way to make sure that you're actually going to sell these. I mean, that's my issue when it comes to the community. The community, and I'm not knocking the community, but everybody, it's really fickle. Our interests change all the time. How many times do we cancel things? Like it's hard to get a pulse of what people really want as a whole, especially collectors. My opinion, I feel he should just make what he has a passion for, something he loves, give it a shot, what he thinks might sell as a businessman, and see what everybody wants. As far, I mean, is that all you want to talk about right now? Is that portion of it, or can we just go into everything right now as far as other vehicles?
I know the guy below you. I don't think how many drinks have you had yet, Sean?
3.
You've had 3 so far?
Oh yeah.
Give it another minute, Carlos. You could dive a little bit deeper.
Okay. So you mentioned Rudy's video with the 2022 Batmobile.
He's trying to let Sean marinate.
I'm trying to let it listen like a steak that's marinated.
Hate alert going.
Oh, no, man. Not yet. The batter is not ready yet.
2022 Batmobile, we see multiple videos. I think Rudy's was the most comprehensive, and I think it's the only review of an A stock vehicle I think we're talking about, right? Because everything else we've seen is B stock, which means it's damaged. Sure.
To be fair on that, there is other reviews out there on the car. I know we're kind of jumping around a little bit. There's Rudy's. To be fair, I know, like, for example, Denobi's review that he had done was a B stock. We're gonna leave it like that. There has been there's other reviews like Justin and things like that. There's been other reviewers out there. I'm gonna assume, I don't want to assume or not assume. I'm assuming that everything was like A or whatnot, or whatever it has been. But nevertheless, I'm just trying to be transparent about that, to be honest.
Yep. And to be fully transparent, the limit to my experience with Jazzinc is a few dioramas, which I've bought in the past, and then the Justice Mobile, which I have behind me here. So they, I feel they have really great shelf presence, all the vehicles as a whole. But when you drill down into them, there's like, and this isn't knocking anybody. This is just my honest opinion from having owned the vehicle. There's, I mean, where do I start? I didn't get like the first batch, so mine was on a wait list. So I got one of the later vehicles. So I didn't get hit with the later batch Justice Mobile, with the early batch. And I know there's issues overall across the board with front axles. Mine actually shipped with an extra set of axles, just in case they broke, I guess. So it actually came with that. It seems to be holding up better than what I've seen like on other videos of first batch vehicles.
Fourth batch is the charm.
Well, not even. I'll be honest with you, there's still issues. I have a piece of foam in the front end because I don't trust the axles. When I take the piece of foam out underneath that I have hidden between the two front wheels, the whole middle of the vehicle sags down and the wheels bow out. And if you saw Rudy's vehicle, right, or review of the,
we'll get it there. We'll get to there with it. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the wobbly wheels and everything. That's consistent. My wheels, they wobble. They're not. You know, I would have hoped for like a better, sturdier construction. The cockpit doors, the seams don't line up and they don't sit flush when you close them. I've got magnetic accessories that my son was just moving around the room the other day and walking, and it just tumbled off the vehicle. The magnets aren't very strong. And I mean, I can go on and on. I think for the price point, and I'm not knocking it, it was his first vehicle, right? So what I was hoping to see down the line was improvement. I wasn't willing to spend the money to test and see if it gotten better. I mean, for me, it was a $2,000 investment with all the accessories and everything I bought, and I don't feel I got a $2,000 vehicle. And I mean, we're seeing this right now, right on the video. Look at how the wheels jiggle around. Obviously, you're going to have it articulate or turn, right, back and side to side and rotate, but that up and down movement is not like a natural movement that you would get from like a shock absorption type. Let's see, it's just wiggling there. It's just loose, and that's the kind of stuff that really bothers me. You know, you're paying all this money for this vehicle, and it's really not worth it. I mean, if it would have a lower price point, maybe like Rudy said, maybe we could live with it, but at these prices,
real fast.
Yeah, even the paint job is not accurate. Like if you look at the screenshots in the movie and on the set photos, there's glossy paint. It's not just one solid matte color. There's actually gloss paint in the Batmobile.
Yeah.
Right? So,
yeah, exactly. And look, I'm not a fanboy. I just want good products, and I want to get what I pay for.
Yeah,
I feel like
that price tag.
Yeah, and it's a little frustrating because I know that there's a lot of people in the community that and rightfully so. I mean, they want a good product. They get excited for stuff, but they don't know what they're getting into. And I think we really need to be honest. I got no skin in the game. I have no allegiances to anybody. Like I said, I just want a good product. And I think anybody that looks into these really needs to do their research before they buy. I'm not saying don't buy it. What you buy is your choice. But really do some research, look into it, look at the pitfalls, the issues, and take your time. Like $2,000 or $1,800 or whatever, depending on how much the shipping is. That's a lot of money. We all have families, we have responsibilities, right? And it's an expensive hobby. You know, you really got to take your time and look where you're putting your money and make sure it's worth it. Think about how many figures you can buy for that. I mean, like I said, I can go on and on. I hope they actually improve. My thing is, if there's no criticism, there's never going to be any improvement. You know, if we keep, you know, unicorns and rainbows don't produce a good product.
Well,
that's really how I feel.
Well, that goes back to now. I just want a couple things. I know Sean's clamoring. I think he's on his fourth one, so I think he's. I'm about to get the banner queued up, and we're gonna unleash the hate in a moment. Not the joke, but you know, a couple things just to take away from Rudy's video. And like I said, if one of the mods out there could do me a favor and drop Rudy's contact info in the live chat, his YouTube channel, and the link to this video, you guys have to watch this. It's like 30 minutes, but I'm doing it for the reason is because I'm just a couple points to take away from. Number one, he was talking about the wheels as being a disappointment, and he talked to me a few days before this video came out. And the way that it transpired was Sean, and he'll get into it. He has the car on order, and I said, hey, my buddy Rudy got the car, and he just finished his review. He goes, can you send me some video? So the video, I saw a video of the wheels a couple days before. Rudy's words, not mine. Watch the video. I'm paraphrasing. But I had asked him, and he did the review of the car, and his advice to me was, what I did was I got the car, my fandom took over, and then what I did was I let it sit for a few days. I didn't review the car the day I got it. I let it sit for a couple of days on the shelf and kind of let it sit and digest, went back, looked at the car, and his perception changed. And he was like, I have trouble figuring out where $1,800 of my money went on the car. He goes, maybe $1,000. He said there's a lot of detail in the engine, looks fantastic, like that piece there, that's the main point. But he felt like because they went so hard on this, there was other areas on the car they skimped on. Like they just did, because that's like the main focal point of the car. And it's just it's interesting because it was a really honest review, which is really nice. And I just don't think there was a lot of transparency. Now, once again, we shouldn't have to do this because you guys are hating and shitting on them. Listen, I have the 89 Batmobile on order. I have about $400 left on the car. So I'm a customer of Jazzinc's. Not saying that means anything. If I still want to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it regardless. But there's a lot of people on this panel that own or will be owning the product. And so it's important because I don't think that there's enough transparency with these products in the community. I don't think that there is. And the reason why I tout Rudy's review is because he's not affiliated with Jazzinc in the sense of like having them on streams, talking. It was just a straight, honest review from a YouTuber who not many people probably even know. Probably a lot of people watching don't even know who Rudy is. And you know what? Those are some of the best channels, honestly. The YouTube channels. I watch a lot of reviews from channels that nobody knows because it's just honest people putting up videos of stuff and reviewing it. There's no hidden, I'm going to say agenda, but nevertheless, that's just one of
let's just say that there's no hidden discounts being given.
Yeah, there you go. Well, CMB's
there's a lot of that. But you did make a good point. It is, if you look at the car, it is worked backwards to forwards. Like if you look in the back end, that's where all the detail is. That's where like the pop is. And as you slowly move forward toward the front, you could see the quality kind of dip down and like a sliding scale.
Yeah. Well, I just want to read some comments back there. Let's see. I just want to jump back real fast before Keaton Car 89 says there needs to be a support crossbeam to hold the axle still. 1-6 Star Wars Pimpazoid, fantastic name. Jazzinc's paint apps have always not been great. I had to send my race speeder back 3 times to get one where the paint wasn't messed up. But to their credit, I finally got one that was perfect. That credit to Jazzinc. I've heard nothing but outstanding customer support from them. Sean, you can tell me otherwise if I'm true, but I've heard the customer support is fantastic. Like they help you however you need to be helped. So credit to them for that. TK Boyd 210 says, I wanted the Jedi fighter so bad, but I ain't paying the price. It's a chant for the QC. I get it. Absolutely. Batman Collectibles, great. Love the logo. Great names. Batman Collectibles says, most on review ever. No BS. 100%. Keith Lee says, the weird thing is, where was this feedback and call outs during the announcement phase? I mean, how do I tackle that? The announcement.
What do you mean, like when the car was announced,
Yeah,
or when
Keith,
it was like when it was in hand, people were to review?
Well, Keith, you have to expand on a little bit, because the way that the process of it works is that, like the animated, the way that Yost does is that he collects community feedback for the car, like the 89. He gathers feedback from the community, does the renderings, puts them out there, and then people criticize and say, change that, change this, change this, change that. So people are, and that's probably my criticism, is that you're not paying for an item that's fully done. You're paying for a rendering, and then you get the final product later. That was my criticism when the 89 Hot Toys came out, and people were like, well, Jazzinc's going to do it better. My whole criticism was, well, there's no physical product of Jazzinc to compare it to. That's the problem. You have to pay for it, and then you get the final product to see what it looks like. You know what I mean? So that is kind of a hard one where, the feedback, because the first batches that go out, the car's already done. And you know what? And Sean, on now we can, you can jump in. The feedback might be there then. And that's what we're talking about, the third or fourth batch. Like the fourth batch might get these issues fixed.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what happened with the Justice Mobile. And in this one, I'm afraid that's for the 22 Batmobile. That's not going to be the case. Because, you have, even the recent ones that being released, they still have this issue. And not just the wheels themselves that are having issues. It's the exhaust parts that come out of the side, the bar on the bottom that are pretty flimsy. Like is what I've been hearing across the board. And this is something like look, okay, for all the reviewers that did this before, why didn't you show the axle? Why didn't you show how flimsy the track bar is on the bottom in front of the door to get in, and the exhaust system and stuff like that? Why didn't they point it out? Did they get is it because they got it early, or did they get a discount?
Or maybe there was no issue with theirs, because like you said,
I'll guarantee you there is. Then yeah. let them come back on, show video, and show the community that there wasn't an issue with the
Adam Savage's vehicle had the same wheel issue.
Yeah, it did.
We actually pointed that out on the stream when we looked at. Remember, Sean, it was Kenobi was on, and we were looking at Sean, what's his name's unboxing. Remember, we saw it live. We're like, oh wait a minute, holy shit, that wheel just jiggled like that. Remember, he like touched the wheel and it did that, and we
and then the other guy, Graham, whatever, he kind of played it off or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Untested, right?
Yeah. So like my expectations for this are already pretty low. Like, I only got like $200 left to pay on this, and that's it.
I was going to ask you where your head's at right now, because like I said, you only have
I'm not very excited, but like I'm kind of committed now, where like I have this whole line of, like, I get this massive like display area for Batman now, and I'm just like, okay, like it's going to kill me if I don't have these vehicles. And not okay, I'm kind of in the middle of the road, because I got some really crappy Jazzinc stuff. I got some okay, good stuff that I'm acceptable. But even then, the acceptable stuff, I'm still not happy what I paid for. Like, for example, probably the best vehicle or the diorama that Jazzinc has done is the 66 Batmobile. And granted, what, he spent 6 years on that? 5 years? Like from the moment it was announced to whatever. Like, it was a ridiculous. I'm not sure. I'm just
you're wrong. You're not wrong. It was a very long period of time.
Yeah, because he stopped it for a couple of years, and then he ended up doing the Justice Mobile.
Yeah,
as a test one, and so he so that one, it's probably his best work yet, but it's not worth $1,500. And I actually, when he first ordered that, I was one of the, like, you can, on one hand, I was definitely one of the first people that paid it off right off the bat. To support the 66 Batmobile. That's my vehicle. That's my jam. When I started collecting, when Hot Toys had the original 66 Batman and Robin, and they showcased that 66 Batmobile, I was like, okay, I'm in. Buying Hot Toys. Started getting that, and then then they pulled the rug out from underneath you. not going to do they're not going to do the Batmobile. So when then Jazzinc said he was going to do shit, I'm all in. And so, and then like it just started taking forever. And then he started saying like, okay, now we're going to do the Justice Mobile now instead as a test run. I said, oh, okay, well, I'll support that. That's a pretty cool. I like Zack Snyder's movie. So I did that, got that. And I was like, man, that's just like, there's no way he's going to be able to do the 66. And so contacted Jazzinc, and to Mr. Ron's credit, yeah, he has great customer support. So when I said like, look, I want my money back, gave me my money back right away. Kudos to Jazzinc for that. And then because I knew that I learned, and you know what, I was one of the first ones out there. Don't get the first batch. Whatever you do, don't get the first batch, because that happened to me with the Millennium Falcon cockpit too. So so got the money, and then as soon as the 66 went on wait list, I put my order in, and then 3 days later, hey, wait list came up, so I got it. I was the very last batch, and it's a good vehicle.
And that's the video Denobi did.
Yeah, and it's a good vehicle, and there's some issues with it. The trunk won't close seamlessly. The doors have some issues. The stickers aren't that great on it, but you know what? It's fine. It's probably one of the better paint jobs that they've ever done, just because it's a pure car glossy paint. But it's not worth that money. But it's worth that money to me, as a huge fan of Batman 66. So it's worth that money for me, but I wouldn't recommend it for the average collector that just wants to have a cool vehicle. They're not going to be happy with it. So that's basically what I said can say about that experience. I got this, yeah. So I should be getting this in the next month or two, and I do have the 89 on order as well.
Do you plan on doing some type of video unboxing at all, or do you have anything planned, or
well,
or I don't want to put you on the spot if you have anything secretly lined up. Let's put it that way.
No. Like I don't really do any videos or anything like that. But like I might just for fun just let Denobi have it. Just go to town on it.
There you
just
go.
For fun.
There you go.
If anything, just for the comedy gold for him making fun of me about getting it.
Well, you touched on something there, Sean, and like you said, and then I think I'll jump to V, and then just kind of bounce around, because I feel like there's more we talk about, because I know there's, but like that's what you kind of touched on. That I feel like Jazzinc, it's gonna be, I'm trying to think how I can articulate this. It's gonna be the same song and dance that I don't think is ever gonna end. Kind of like third party figures, because you know a lot of people say, well, where else can you find X, Y, and Z? I get that. That's probably the problem, is that, like you just said, it's not worth the money. It's a niche product for a niche customer, for a fan that wants that. Like the 89 Batmobile. I say it time and time again, but I have both. I have the Hot Toys and I got the Jazzinc. The Hot Toys I owe the final payment on. Jazzinc, I think I owe like $400 on. I don't know many people that are stupid enough to say I'm buying both cars. I'm buying both cars. I will review them independently, and I will review them together. Why did I get them? It's because I'm a huge 89 fan. Batman 89. It's one of my favorite. I say this time and time again. I didn't day one pre-order. I was all about day one pre-ordering the 89 Jazzinc Batmobile. And that's kind of the problem, is that when you talk to certain people that have a skewed mindset, they're like, well, you know, why would you get that? It's so much money. Just get the Hot Toys one. It's perfectly fine. And I was like, yeah, I guess it makes sense. So I didn't get the Jazzinc right away. I pre-ordered the Hot Toys day one. And then, what happened was when I was doing that interview with Carl Newman, who worked on 89 Batman with Michael Keaton, I did that interview way back when. I watched Batman for like 7 times in a week, like studying for the interview. And I was like, dude, I love this movie so much. I just went on and pre-ordered the Batmobile from Jazzinc. I didn't care. I was like, dude, I'm doing it. I'm just doing it. And I'm going to have an 89 display, and I'm going to do a 1992 display. So that's the reason why I have both cars. I'll do one from 92 with Batman Returns and stuff, and I'll do one with 89. But I got to be honest, I'm like, my feelings go like a roller coaster. I tell Carlos this all the time. Him and I have talked about my feelings are like excited, not so much. Excited, not so much. Right now, where I stand, I'm completely indifferent. I'm just like, All right.
Well, I think
I'll get it when I get it, because I'm like, I do think the 89, I think Carlos, you said this, if I'm not mistaken, that the 89 is possibly going to be one of his most hyped up vehicles, meaning, his,
yeah.
his big crown jewel, because it has so much popularity that it's almost got to be a home run. It's got to be a home run.
Well, not only that. Sorry, I'm going to cut off Carlos here, but I just got to jump in right there. It's not like, I mean, okay, he did the 66, which is probably his best work yet. He knows, Yost knows that he has to nail the 89 out of the bat, just because Hot Toys is doing it too.
Yeah.
This is the make it or break it for him. So he has to, like, I mean, he's touted that this is the best. Hey, this is the truest version. This is like, we're going above and beyond. Like, he's saying it's the best version to date. Like, he's called out Hot Toys. He's got to bring it.
When I saw that, like, I got one more point and then V, I promise. But the thing is that when I get a product, right, I obviously, like, as a YouTuber, I have an opinion about everything. But when I'm all in on something, I get really opinionated and I get really in depth on it. Like in art, for example. In art, I knew everything about, but then when I pre-ordered the Superman, I kept a real close eye on the whole process. Like, how does the pre-ordering process go? How did you know what I mean? Like, and I studied the 89 process. And if this is how he does it, where he puts out, like, I was expecting, like, oh, okay, where's the finished car? People were like, no, what he does is he does a rendering of the car. I'm like, oh, so I have to pre-order based on a rendering. And for months, it was just the stock photo of the car. I'm like, okay, fair. Then he does the process and he builds the car, and I get it. Like, you need backers to put the money for. I get that whole, but I was just understanding the process as we got here. And the Hot Toys one, I know what to expect with Hot Toys for that amount of money. It's a $700 car. It's a mass-produced car. I know, Carlos, you're holding out hope.
Yeah.
Wait, real fast. But Carlos is holding out hope. He smiles because he knows what I'm going to say.
Well,
he's holding out hope. What?
Can I mention that?
Go ahead, dude.
So
I have
really
faith,
feel,
I
really feel both companies have to bring their A game. For Hot Toys, it's not going to cut it for them to bring a reissue, basically, with maybe some more bells and whistles. Call it a 2.0 of what they previously released. That car is underscaled. It needs to be redone. I know Jazzinc is doing a more screen accurate sizing on the vehicle, is what they're saying. Jazzinc's challenges, I feel, there's two major concerns I have with the 89 Batmobile with Jazzinc. One is obviously the wheels. That just seems to be a hit or miss issue for them on vehicles. Number two, what I'm really concerned with is the paint job, because it's not a 2022 Batmobile with, even the clean version had some weathering, right? This is supposed to be, in the movies, I don't remember it being showing any kind of weathering. It was just a complete, clean, matte black vehicle, and matte paint is hard to get right. So with the fingerprint issues they had in the past, and I'm not trying to say they can't improve, it's just be a real concern with me with that vehicle is the paint job, how that turns out. There's no room for error on a paint job like that, I feel.
Yeah.
V.
It's a good thing this Batmobile didn't come with no pinstripes.
No, but the biggest thing is that Jazzinc is going to face is, like, especially with Hot Toys coming out with their 89, is like, okay, it's $700 for Hot Toys. Like, remind me again, Mr. Mom, what's the Jazzinc one? It's
$14.99 plus
14,
whatever the shipping is going to be. Like,
so it's going to be $300 in shipping.
Don't remind me, please.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So we're looking at $1,800.
Sorry, not sorry.
$1,800 delivered. This has to be, like, not only Yost, he just can't rely on just say it's more accurate. It's the size. It's not going to work. This has to be worth twice as much, over twice. This has, like, when I'm looking at it, like look, I have the 89, the original 89 Batmobile. It's a nice vehicle. It's nice. When I got it displayed with my figures and everything, it's a showstopper. Now, this one, like, now I've seen the prototype he has. The interior cockpit is a hell of a lot better. The LED lighting is way better. Like, the gauges and all that stuff is awesome. Now the paint job that he did for the prototype is way the hell better, because it actually looks like, okay, this could be a metal car versus a plastic car, which is Hot Toys.
Yeah.
That alone, that was one of the main things that sold me. which is bad because their paint jobs is horrible on normal stuff. But he's going to be judged. This is not just going to be judged on accuracy. It's going to be judged, is this worth more than double? And that's where his company's going to, he's either going to be able to show Howard
that he could do it or not.
I got you.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Bring it. Or Howard's just going to say, told you.
V, I'm getting called out that you're silenced.
Oh, man.
The floor is yours now. I've silenced you for long enough where Nate's pissed. He's like, let V speak.
First of all, what's up, Nate? Second of all, it is a very weird position to be in for Jazzinc, right? They're touting themselves as to 1-to-1 scale of scale vehicles. Is that correct? Right? They're supposed to be the top tier of all the people making 1/6 vehicles out there. There's no one better than them. They're staying. That would be one bit better than them.
They say they're the most screen accurate.
Right. So most screen accurate, that's where their top dollar money is coming. Like that's why they're saying that we need your top dollar to bring that. But Ryan, you made a great point of like, hey, you track down the process, right? The process of how Jazzinc does is like we have a 3D rendering of how this does, of how this will look, and then we'll work it from there. Hot Toys has the opposite. How many prototypes have they released to show you? It's like, hey, here's what we got in hand that we made, and this is what we're gonna sell you on. It's a whole different scale of operations of what you potentially get and what you might get. And that's where Jazzinc fails at, is that for any of these vehicles, he should make it prior to make one vehicle prior to even saying like, hey, here's what we're thinking of doing. Here's how I will do it. Here's what I was going to do. Here's how it might look in your hands. But doing a 3D rendering of all that stuff and giving the hope and dreams of what your dream car could look like, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Like every purchaser with $1 is sold on a dream, and you can make that dream as imaginative as possible or as low as expectation as it could be.
Yeah.
So it's just the hype that blinds a lot of people of what an actual product is. For people going into this, right? The 2023. You can go back and look at the Justice League vehicle that you got. Obviously that one had a lot of people a bad reception on, right? People still talking to this day. Like I don't think there's one Justice League vehicle that people have that a person that has is like, this is great. The 66 that came out was a huge improvement, but still had a lot of faults. Saw streamers that were like, hey, the lights don't work, the pinstripes don't match up, the paint job is here and this and this and that.
You get the final batch.
Unless you get the final batch. But that's the thing, is that I love Jazzinc for giving dream vehicles to people that are in this collection. Can't fault them enough. He's giving the dioramas, he's giving the vehicles, giving everything that Hot Toys won't do. But there's a problem of how he does the assembly line for this. When he was first beginning, it was like him and his sons, right? I believe. Just him and his dad.
Him and his dad.
Him and his dad just tooling together, just doing the American dream, even though he's not in America, and making it happen for collectors out there. If Jazzinc didn't grow anymore and he was just doing that, just like, hey, I'm just two dudes just in a workshop, just making shit happen, I would be fine with it. But now he got the DC license. Now he's legit. It's not third party anymore. He's got all the resources possible. How do you like go with that? You have a license. You're not only representing yourself, you're representing the company that gave you the license. And all this America, brother. Listen here, brother. I want to tell you something. But it's heartbreaking to see these quality issues, because I think in our hearts and our hearts,
especially for the cost.
Yes, right.
Yeah, you shouldn't get these quality issues for the cost. And I mean, please, man, you send me the hate. If you're out there and you're gonna cry me a river about how it's a mom and pop shop, okay, when a mom and pop shop is taking $300,000 to $600,000 in pre-orders, okay, cry me a river. Send me the hate. I'm telling you, when you're paying this much money for even a custom, any custom, there's going to be no, because it's handmade. You're not going to have any QA issues when you're paying this much. Like, I mean, come on. There's no QA issues when you're dropping this much money. Like, imagine you just bought the Hot Toys, got when they released the Hulk Buster.
Yeah.
Imagine if that had a bunch of QA issues. Tell me there wouldn't be hate. Tell me there wouldn't.
I'll give you a real life, dude. I'll give you a real life example. A real life example. Tony Stank. Nate's own, right? His favorite one to go to, right? That had so much hate to it. No. Hot Toys was like, shit, we fucked up.
This is a licensed product. That's why, and actually, in the 66 Batmobile was his first licensed product. So that's why that one was considered, I would consider one of his best.
Yeah.
No, just forgive.
Yeah, go ahead.
Forgive me if I change the subject here, but like I need to go back because I wanted to rant it on something earlier about that animated version of that Batmobile. That will be the biggest blunder, the worst thing that he ever announces is that the animated Batmobile. Out of the 300 that won that, I'll guarantee you 50% of those people won't even purchase it. And then not only that, like not 50% of that voted for it, half of that 50%, which is 25, would want a realistic version, and even less than that wants an animated version.
Well, so it's not even the animated one's not even accurate compared to this blueprint. If you look,
I know it's like 4 feet long.
Longer. Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Where are you going to put that?
Hey,
if you lay Batman down on its side, right?
There's no way.
Vehicles. This is
there's
accurate.
no.
This is too short.
Yeah, there's no accurate animated version to go off of. There's no blueprint.
That's why I pulled this picture up, because he said if we make the if we make the animated series based on this drawing, the sizes, he's confirmed that he's basically going off of this detail right here.
Okay,
Someone has said this to him already.
What animated figures do we have? You have the Bondo one.
That's it.
How many people bought that?
And you have one third party.
You have third party.
Okay, one third party. Yay!
S-Hero's making it.
Yeah, that I want to spend $1,500 to $1,800 on a third party figure to complement my third party figure. Seriously.
What's crazy is that when he did the video,
this will be the biggest blunder ever if he makes this, because nobody will be happy. It'll be nothing but complaints, and then no wonder he's tap dancing out of this.
Well,
in that video
about this, though,
Ryan, if you Google animated Batmobile,
yeah,
right,
it's all over the place.
You could see that the size, though, no matter what, the majority of the pictures you see, it's way longer. It's not this short. So if this is the schematic she's going off of, it's not accurate.
You can even go on like it's not the Hasbro, but like the animated, like the other toy line, right?
Yeah,
you can see it's like actually longer than that. Yeah. But going on the numbers, right? We want to talk numbers. The people that voted. Out of the whole people, like the 14,000 people and the 300 people that actually voted for it, that won that contest of who wants this next vehicle, that's about 2 to 3% of the whole group. Now you take that 2 to 3%, right? You divide it maybe even in half. That's who's going to be pre-ordering that, right? You're not going to have a lot of people going in.
The only way he would be able to get away with this is if he changed up his whole MO. It's like, okay, hey, it voted. Okay, here's the render that he's going to go off of. Hey, this is the animated version. It's just these are the dimensions. Vote like how many then put it up for pre-order right away. If he makes the mark, he makes the mark. If he doesn't, man, he's crazy for taking any type of cut like his like a Facebook group critique on this. This is the Kobayashi Maru.
Well, what's interesting is that
it's a lose-lose for him.
Well, Carlos, we talked about this. I was like really like mind boggled when I found out how many people like won the vote. I was expecting it to be like, well, with 4,000 votes is this, with 3,500 it's this, like that. When it was like 360, I had to rewind the video to make sure like I heard that, because I thought it was 360 more than the previous. It was like 360 total. I was like, holy shit. Even Yost said he was surprised that the 97 didn't win, just for the sake of cinematically giving a collector the chance to cinematically have every vehicle, including the Hot Toys tumbler. It would have given a collector could have owned every single live action Batmobile at that point.
Didn't the Arkham one came in next?
The Arkham one was third. Yeah,
Oh,
Arkham one was third.
What was second?
But what's that?
What came in second?
It was animated, the 1997, then the Arkham.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, but Carlos, a good point we talked about was even like his system, where I think we discussed that, like, sometimes I think, being the people's champion, which he evidently is doing, sometimes that can backfire, and like I had an idea, and I think you kind of thought it wasn't a bad one. It was like, sometimes maybe Yost just picked the project himself and let the people vote on maybe some features. Like, hey guys, I'm doing the 97 Batmobile. I want to do this to complete the line, and we're going to do this and this. Hey, here's a vote. What, you could do these features. Which features do you want to see most in the car? This is what I can do within the budget of what's available for the car. I know you and I talked about this. I don't know, get your thoughts on that.
Correct. I mean, if you want to do collector community feedback, that's the way to go. I can't stress enough. I mean, and I hate to say this, there's a reason Hot Toys really doesn't interact too much. There's so many different opinions. I mean, you bring a figure up and look at how many people say something different about that figure. How are you really going to get a good idea overall? Engagement's a big deal. Do you really have the necessary engagement to get a real solid view of how people feel about it all? The pick something you're passionate about, that you want to make, that you think will sell well, and then let everybody vote on, like, for example, even though I don't think it's a good idea to make this animated vehicle, he put out, like, what version of the animated vehicle? Do you want a pure animated? Do you want a more realistic version? Those are the kinds of things I think really should be voted on. I wouldn't say to actually, I like Sean said it well. I really don't think this is going to get much traction. Perfect example was the Jedi Starfighter. Like, I don't know if he actually made it, but I know he really struggled with that, and I think that won a community vote too.
I don't think he actually met the quota, but what I think is going on with that one is that he fell short, but he's moving forward and making it in hopes that he expects that when it goes into actual production and there's like a physical prototype, like a physical one, more people will jump on the pre-order. I think that's what he said in his last video. Correct.
But, I mean, look, I really feel Yost, and no hate towards him. He's a businessman. He's trying to do the best he can. I think he's really pushing his business to the limits. If just an assumption I'm making based on things I see. He's, like, even someone mentioned in the comments, right? He's making handcrafted vehicles. This isn't a production like Hot Toys. I really think he needs to put his blows where they count and make something that is going to be more of a surefire success. I think even looking at this without getting any feedback, the animated Batmobile, I don't think that's really on anybody's radar overall. Like Sean said about figures, we don't even have figures for this thing other than Mondo and some third-party figures. And big part of selling vehicles is what figures do you have to go with it. So
and V, like, I'm trying to think, like, I was talking about where my mindset is, right, with this vehicle, right? So
right.
And we're gonna get into it now. Now I feel like I'm getting my hands dirty. We're gonna get into the nitty-gritty of this.
Can't wait. Let's cut it.
No, it's fine. We're just being honest. Is that yes, he's making a small run of vehicles. Seems like a great guy. Seems like a nice guy from what I could see. He's touted on YouTube streams, all over. And so what mind boggles me, I don't care how many vehicles he made. I know his production run, 160's nuts said that he made 500 of the 95 Batmobiles. Yeah, that one was going to be a tough sell. It's a very lucrative car, a lot of money. I get it. I totally get it. What I don't understand is, so I'm going to have both Batmobiles. I'm going to have the 89 Hot Toys. I'm going to have the Jazzinc. Right now, the Jazzinc, I'm scheduled for August shipment for the Jazzinc. There's a possibility I'm going to have the Hot Toys one first. I have one payment left on it. So I'm probably going to get one first. And I'll look at one, get really excited. and I look at the other one. The reality is I have two different sets of expectations for the vehicles. And I think that's fair. I have $800 worth of expectations out of Hot Toys, and I have $1,500 to $1,800 worth of expectations out of Jazzinc. I don't expect them to be the same. Like, if you tell me right now, if I get both vehicles, I expect the Jazzinc one to be the superior vehicle because I'm paying almost 2.5 times the price of Hot Toys. I expect 2.5 times more of the quality. Hot Toys is going to get a pass on certain things because I'm spending a third of the price. So that is just, you know what I mean?
No,
It's
you're right, man. Because
it's like I go to buy, like, you know, a product at Walmart, and then I go to like Gucci. I expect Gucci to be better than Walmart. I mean, maybe not, but that's just what it is. And what's really amazing is the pass that Jazzinc, they get a pass, just like in art. Hot Toys gets a pass on things too, but we're focusing on Jazzinc right now. Like, this is the main point of the conversation.
Yeah,
and I think YouTubers give them a pass, and I do, and that's why I still really tout Rudy's review, because it was nothing but honest and genuine.
Which it should be. It should be just a genuine opinion of what you're getting for the amount of money. Hot Toys has gotten a pass. It was mentioned, I think, by Keith Lee. Sorry, the DeLorean Mark II. Right?
Train wreck.
Yeah, absolute, like, just out of the box, first batch, just got demolished. It wasn't worth what you paid for, all that stuff. Yeah,
Got
yeah,
one.
same, dude, same. Yep, Carlos got it too. Man, we got hosed on it, and it sucks. But at the same time, you know, not everyone keeps talking about that. No one ever brings that up because, you know, the next vehicle that they bring out, we're looking at the Mark III DeLorean, and now the '89 Batman, right? We're not expecting to have those QC issues because we know Hot Toys fixes those down the line, more or less. But going back to, you know, what you said, like the price point is really the differentiator. Like your expectation, that's the key thing. Is like, you're paying so much for this product to be perfection, right? You're coming out to tell people, it's like, this is screen accurate, this is perfection in your hands, when it's not. When people have it in their hands and they're looking at it and it's not perfection, and that's a huge issue. And more people need to know about that. It's like, hey, what's going on? Is it your production line? Is that what's the issue? Is it you're not getting the right material in line, or is it not enough money that you need to put into this product to make it perfection? Right? Like, what is it, Joe's? Like, you got to let the people know.
Well, and like Nelson C says, you know, the size alone makes Jazzinc vastly superior to Hot Toys. I don't disagree with that comment. I don't disagree with it, especially and also, I forgot we even mentioned this. Sean, you have the Hot Toys '89.
Yeah.
So, like, this, based on the features and electronics of Jazzinc, there is no, I don't think there's any there's truth to that. Like, I remember when Kenobi did your video, like, yeah, the lighting did look, I mean, granted, the car was older, but the lighting didn't look great on the car. You're right.
The LED lighting and the cockpit itself was compared, like, is this bad?
Yeah, 100%. So, like, for me, when I'm looking, like, right now, I'm going to tell you guys right now, and I told Carlos this. I think we had this conversation, like, literally today, when he was asking me, like, you know, because Rudy, in the video, I have the car on payment plan. Rudy put down a $300 deposit on the car. He's contemplating canceling and losing the $300. He said to me, as of, I think it was a couple days ago, he goes, I would rather lose $300 than pay $1,500 and be disappointed again. That's what he said. He goes, I don't know yet. I have to make up my mind, because that's where he is. But that's where he's at. For me right now, I'm going to be honest. The number one thing that scares me, there's two things that worry me about the '89 car specifically. Number one is the paint. That concerns me.
Yeah.
That thing is high gloss. It's solid. Like Carlos was saying, it's solid. There's just, you know, and then the second thing is the wheels. The whole wobbly wheel thing. I'm already contemplating in my head that I might get a very thin riser to lift the car just enough off the ground, but the wheels are still on the ground, so it visually looks like it's sitting on the ground, but enough to take the strain off of the wheels so that they don't potentially, like, cave. Like, that is actually what my main concern is right now, because that car looks slow and in the weight of it, like his Justice Mobile back there.
Right, and that's what I was gonna say. Carlos, you had those issues, and you've talked to other people with the Justice Mobile issue about the wheels, right?
Correct.
It seems like there'd be an ongoing issue. Like, can you explain a little bit more, like what happened with the wheels of the Justice League vehicle?
For like I said, I have a later, which is another thing. Before I get into that, like I just really want to get this off my chest. I've been holding this in for like the past 2 years.
Preach.
3 years.
What other company gives their initial supporters, the people that help fund it all, the worst product?
Exactly.
That makes absolutely no sense.
Exactly. So, like, yeah, you're a first supporter, you get the worst product.
Yeah.
You're a come Johnny lately, you get the best one.
Correct.
Well, Tesla's kind of like that.
So that's number one. And I have a later batch. I'm assuming I have a later batch. I got on a wait list because what Kenobi showed in his video is not what I got. I have to be fair. Like, my vehicle is not that bad. But I mean, if you want, I'll show you. I'll go off camera a second, move it over. If you take the support that I put off of underneath it, those wheels aren't going to hold. I've had it on foam for the past 2 years. I had it on like that for maybe a month, and I saw it continue to sag and sag and sag more. The wheels literally bow out from the bottom out like this, and the entire vehicle just like sinks down. I just feel it, and so someone in the comments said, this is a custom model. It's still not acceptable. Like, let me ask you something. If you order an expensive figure from Hot Toys and the sculpt is on point, but it comes to you and all the joints are loose, are you going to accept that? No,
absolutely not. No,
this is a $1,500 1/6 scale vehicle that, by the way, it weighs a ton. This whole thing is a brick of resin. It's a block of resin.
Can you give us a quick squat? Can you squat it? No, I'm just joking. I just don't have to.
No, seriously, I'll bring it over. I'll show you. It needed more support. The vehicle is overweight, and the support on the wheels, like a vehicle like this needed some kind of metal mechanism or metal assembly for the wheels.
Yeah.
It's all plastic. The whole thing's plastic.
Well, actually, it's resin.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, the body is resin. I'm assuming the hinges are going to be similar material, but the axles, but it's all a mess. I feel you think there'd be some improvement after so many vehicles. I'll give them this. I have heard that the licensed Justice Mobile or BVS Batmobile was a huge improvement over the original non-licensed release. But,
yeah, the Zack Snyder version is supposed to be the best one.
Correct. So, I mean, I keep hearing this, like it's not even a Hot Toys price. You're talking about double to triple a Hot Toys vehicle depending on what you're buying. So you have to think about that. They have to be held to a higher standard.
But they're not. But that's the thing, is it's not, though. That's what's kind of weird to me, is that, and I don't know how many times, I don't mean to cut you off. I don't know how many times to say this. I mean, I made a video on my channel. I rated the Back to the Future DeLorean as my #1 most disappointed product of 2023. How much more clear can I say that? I just want to know, like, how much more clear can I be? I remember when I was on Kenobi stream, and I had people. I'm not even kidding. I was on Kenobi stream around the time of the DeLorean came out. I would have people message me on Facebook Messenger because I was associated with Kenobi, and people know his feelings about Jazzinc, saying, you gave Hot Toys a pass. I literally said on stream that the DeLorean was the worst product I have at the time of 2023. And you know what? Nothing has taken that crown from all last year. It's the #1 worst product I have experienced for 2023. So for those out there, like, I don't know what more I can say. The car sucked. And you know what sucks, though, is that I'm very passionate. You know what's even worse, guys, in general? When it's an IP that you genuinely love. Like, it sucks that it's Back to the Future. Like, the 22 Batmobile is not iconic for me. Like, it's not an iconic vehicle.
It's way too new to be even iconic.
Like, if I had $1,800, I'd rather buy the Ecto 1. And even what's funny is that the Ecto 1 from Blitzway got a pass with the crooked stickers. Like, people couldn't put stickers on the damn car right, and it was $1,800. I mean, and I know, if we were to talk about Blitzway, I'd rip their asshole apart on that. But I understand, but we're talking about this product that, you know, it's just insane to me that
it's well, the thing is, it's like
I'm sometimes at a loss, honestly.
No, you're not at a loss. But the thing is, it's like I think.
Yeah, he's right. Look,
Joe's
Blitzway just laughing at people, not yeah, it's true though. Blitzway got away with one.
Yeah,
he's
that one flew.
Blitzway got away with one.
It flew under the radar, man. Like it was like after Afterlife came out, it was like in and out. It came out way after the movie was done.
Because you know what the problem was? Everyone missed out on that 84 and wouldn't pay $4,000. So like, you know what? I'll take a crooked logo on an Afterlife for $1,800 instead of paying $4,000 for an original one.
Exactly.
And they got Blitzway. That was like the catfish of the year was that Blitzway Afterlife. They got away with it.
They certainly did. And not enough people should call them out. That's why we need we'll see what happens with Blitzway and the new Ghostbusters, or if we get another vehicle from Hot Toys for Ghostbusters. But I do want to bring it back, Carlos, with your Justice League vehicle, because like I think a lot of people don't realize like how the wheels are on that. Can you show the people how that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Let me bring it over. Give me one minute.
Yes, you get to do that. But I want to talk to C&B for a second because we're both statue collectors, right? And if we did put $1,800 down, right, on a shitty statue, you know, the community would be up in arms. Am I right? Am I wrong, or am I?
No, you're not wrong, man. Not wrong at all. I mean, hell, when people have to put up even just $1,000 on a statue, if something comes out shitty, they will burn places down to the ground with how they feel.
Yeah,
there are no passes when it comes to in the statue community. They don't let people slide when you make these kinds of mistakes. And the same should be given in the scale community.
Yeah, that they have everyone at a certain standard. The statue game people have been in it for a very long time. I would believe it's a more wider community as well. It's given like with anime and all that stuff. One that comes to mind was I think it was the Blitzway Joker. They had like 3 different portraits of that to make up for the first one that was so trashy.
The Blitzway Prime 1 collaboration.
Right. Yeah. And that's a big one because that was about was that 2000 or was it how much? Do you remember how much that was?
No, I want to say it was like $1,500, but because let's say if you ordered it directly from Prime 1, you're paying for both boxes. So when all said and done, it would equate to damn near $2,000.
God damn, yeah, that's just so bad. And before we go
to Carlos,
because the community literally came out and was like, that doesn't look like your proto. That looks like absolute horse shit. That's not Heath Ledger. You know, and then that's when they had to create like you said, the 2 other sculpts, the special edition one where it's half Heath Ledger, half Joker, and then the one where it's just Joker with a stern face. So and they had to do that just because they were not hearing the end of it, and the community was up in arms saying that they felt that they got, you know, they were done dirty.
Exactly, and they want to get their money's worth.
And unacceptable, yeah.
Yeah, and even to that, I'll go back. There's another tangent we could go on for another 10 minutes on a different company, but I want to go see this Justice League.
Yeah, what I want to do is, are you ready first, Carlos? You ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to pull you up on the solo. That way you're on main screen so everyone can see you. So you're full screen so everyone's looking at you now.
So first, I'll do the
high def. There, right.
So this is the wobble videos. And I did not do that on purpose. I mean, it fell off earlier. I was trying to put it on again.
No.
You gotta finesse it in.
That's what she said.
Dude, it's good to get over there.
And then, so you got both sides, right? So that's my issue there. And then, like, you look at the cockpit door here, it doesn't even sit right. The seams don't line up. This is the wobble I have on the spoilers.
Jesus.
That's a feature.
Oh, is it? To pick up wind.
And I mean, I'll show you something. Like, it's supposed to key into the vehicle, right? That's the key right there. Keys in.
Gotcha.
If you look right here, it has a piece of shim they added. And then when I got it, I forgot which side it is. I think it might even be this side. You can see maybe some of the glue marks that are left over. I had to rip that piece of shim out to get it to actually fit in. And then it started just getting even looser. So, I mean, it is what it is. But I'll leave this over here because I don't even want to attempt to put that together again on camera.
Dude, that vehicle has got more shakes than guys' hands.
Yeah, it looks like it needs a shot of insulin, dude.
This is magnetic. This is magnetic, but
got low blood sugar.
This doesn't even peg in. It's just loose. It sits there.
Dude, all of this just reminds me of like the NR magnet base. Like it's just like, oh god.
You want to hear the creak?
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Why do you gotta remind me of my knees?
Oh, and then it falls off again.
Okay, so here's what I wanted to show you last. I don't know if it's going to come up good on camera.
Bro, you could record that sound effect for haunted house creaky door effect.
Wait. Oh, I see it.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that may not look. That may not look
bowing inward.
Well, that's the thing is, like you said, that may not look like something major to someone watching, but over time, that it's about continuous just strain over time. That's going to keep bowing. Yeah.
And then when you
just leave it. Just leave it, dude. It's not going.
No, but I got to show you this. And then when you pull it up, it has this little drop here. Sometimes it pops up. Other times it kind of gets stuck because there is some kind of shock absorption on this somehow. But the wheels do go up and down, and sometimes it won't snap into place. And, I mean, it is what it is.
That vehicle's got leprosy. It's just falling apart in pieces everywhere.
Now, real fast, while I have you up on camera, you're how do I say this nicely? You don't look like you're part of the less is more approach of collecting, and I say that very politely. And I won't say that you look financially irresponsible either. You have a great collection behind you. And that being said, you're showing your collector's credentials, meaning that you have Jazzinc, you have the glorious Ecto 1 behind you, the original, which I'm very envious of, and you have 2 DeLoreans. So you look like someone that I trust your opinion, basically. Of all those vehicles, right? Those are the 4 that you have?
Yeah, I mean, I have the Tumbler as well.
The Hot Toys Tumbler.
Mm-hmm.
Of all those, just what would you say is the overall, you got to take your fandom out of it for a second, because I think I know you said it already. Which one is built the best overall and you feel like you got your bang for your buck out of all of them?
I mean, I'll be honest, I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan, but taking that out of it, I still have to say it's the Blitzway Ecto 1, the original. The
original Ecto 1, not the Afterlife. It's the original.
No, and that vehicle was $1,400 at the time it was released. I mean, compared to today, if you use the new Ecto 1, right? Let's say $1,800 vehicle. Yeah. The build quality is nothing. Like, this is nothing compared to that build quality, and it's similar priced. I mean, it's apples and oranges.
Yeah.
You can get a lot more for your money, if you know.
I don't know, Carlos, man. I heard the sticker on the door was just turned a little bit.
No, 100%.
That would just ruin it. I want.
Honestly,
that should be a $600 vehicle because of that sticker.
No, seriously, all honesty.
600 more like 400. Get out of here.
I lucked out because I canceled the second Ecto 1, the Afterlife Ecto 1, because I just didn't have space for it. I said, what am I going to do with 2 Ecto 1s? And I was happy with the one I had. And after it released, I was honestly not happy. I mean, I'm not just crapping on one product. I mean, I was glad I dodged the bullet on that one too. I mean, everybody has their issues. The reason I feel that Jazzinc specifically is such a big topic and why it's always in the crosshairs is there. It's just a skewed view. I feel like aren't a lot of these in the wild within the YouTube community, other than maybe some YouTubers that have it, and a lot of people that have an opinion on it. Just, I mean, is one thing to look at the product and kind of pass judgment on it, seeing it and the photos, like you said, the renderings, everything everybody puts out there, but to actually own it and then go through this, I mean, I don't think anybody would be happy with this, having paid $2,000, no matter how you phrase it or put it or try to what perception or context you try to put it in.
Yeah, no, you're right, man.
To answer, Justin right here has a question: has Yost addressed the wobbly wheel issue in any of his streams? It seems like a big red flag that he hasn't corrected. I'm going to go out on a limb and say no. The reason for that is they're cookie cutter streams that he's on.
Nobody's brought it up in streams.
No one's brought it up in streams because, to be fair, and dude, guys, call me out on the bullshit. Call me out. I don't care. Call me out. The panel here can even say he's on streams that are very much like you're not in the lion's den. That doesn't mean you have to attack somebody. Everyone deserves respect. Yost seems like a very nice gentleman to talk to. He does. He seems like a really nice guy. But the reality is they're teed up questions that are on a tee. And when you surround yourself by fandom, you know what I mean? It's sitting here and you're surrounded by people that own it's just like John from InArt. When John from InArt goes on a stream, it's a circle jerk basically of everyone owning the product and saying your product is so great. Why would they then ask him any tough questions?
Except for when he went on to Geeking Out.
I was about to say, dude.
Yeah, no,
me and CB. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
That was
he was
a
in the
Lions
Den on that one.
All right, to be fair.
And me
Didn't even know what double
very,
joints were.
Very
Oh,
hungry
God.
Lions.
Well, to CMB's credit, since then he's not gone into the lion's den of streams.
No,
But
he's like, I'll
but that's
never
the
do
whole-
that again.
but that goes back to my problem where my YouTuber side of the
Good times.
brain, but that's where my YouTube side kicks in, where unfortunately, no, it hasn't been. Like, for example, I think the issue with the 22 and the fingerprints, it was glossed over. Like, oh yeah, we got a couple cars, no big deal. We swapped them out, no problem. Okay, I get that, but that was still a big issue for some people that dropped that kind of money, you know. And, it was really glanced over.
I think there was some people that said they brought the issue up too, and he wouldn't correct it.
Yeah.
What do you mean that he wasn't correcting? The
There was some people complained about the fingerprint issue, and he returned it and redone it, and then a few more people did it afterwards, and he said, "Oh, that's just the way it is."
See that this is kind of remind me of like the big flub up with Xbox 360, right?
Yeah.
Xbox 360 was a huge seller, but it had a huge default. Every 1 in 3 Xbox would red ring because they went on the cheap to get it out before the PlayStation 3 at that time. And so they were like, they were trying to do customer service, be the best. You can return it. Here's the warranty extended, but it doesn't address the issue of new products, right? They're just being, we're going to be front facing with the customers and do everything we can for their money. Like you bought the product, they're not returning.
Yeah, I had to send my Xbox 360 back 4 times because all 4 of them they sent me got the red ring.
Really?
So I just got
Holy
my money
shit.
back.
Yeah, it was bad.
They never fixed it. They just kept selling them and saying, we'll just exchange them because it would cost more money to fix the issue than it would be to sell another, just to give you another one.
Oh, with the red ring of death, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Now let me just say, just for the fact, just for those, you know, like the
What the fuck?
Jazzinc diehards and everything else that just, you know, the believes that, you know, can do no wrong and everything. Like, look, and I just want to say, like, I think this panel here, I don't know if I want to speak for everybody, but I think it's fair to say, except for CMB, that you know, if we make these complaints or anything, it's not just because we want to crap on it. It's just these are just small issues. Some are big, some are small, some are small, some are big. But we just look. I mean, I got Jazzinc stuff on order right now, and there's stuff he's going to make, like in the future. I just want it to be better. I want it to be worth the money that I pay. That's all.
And he has
That's
the
all.
opportunity.
Like
to
I
do
don't want him to go out of business. Actually, I want him to thrive. I want him to be. I want him to be able to go, like, to put out a vehicle, and Howard's just going to go, God damn.
I mean, he
You know?
is a threat, man. He is a threat to, like, when Jazzinc was releasing the Vulture. What did Howard do?
Yeah,
By the way,
exactly.
everybody, we got a Vulture coming out.
Howard kept teasing it and everything
many
else. What an asshole!
How many of us turn around and say
And
that?
I mean,
Like,
Howard.
Yeah. But competition, who wins at the end of the day?
Consumers.
The collector.
Collectors. So, like, dude, I joked, and I think I said to Carlos and Sean, I was like, dude, if Hadel, I say this, like I said it before, like, I'm not buying another Jazzinc product. He's not making anything I want. If he turned around and said, dude, I'm making an Ecto 1, I'll figure out a way to buy an Ecto 1. I'm sorry. Like I will, because he's making something that
80s,
I want.
yeah.
Like he will, like I will, because and you're right. We do want these companies to succeed. And there's nothing, but the problem is I just don't think there's enough transparency when those that are reviewing. And here's one thing, I'm going to give a little bit of I'm very cautious about the idea of me reviewing the car. It's very important to me because the car means a lot to me. The film means a lot to me. I grew up with that. So therefore, I know other YouTubers are going to get the car before me. I know that they're going to be doing, reviews on that. To me, I don't care what anyone says. If you're doing a stream with somebody, whether it's in our, Jazzinc, and you're putting out a review for the product, I have a skewed opinion of that review automatically because you've done, interact, you've been on streams with that person, you've talked to that person. I just don't think there's full transparency. I just don't think there is. And that's why I keep saying Rudy's review, I saw the transparency there, like the honesty, and he felt he looked defeated, honestly. Like, I don't know where my money went basically on this vehicle.
That's a lot of money to
That's a lot of money, man. Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Think about someone's like giving you like, hey, here's $1,800. What, just to have fun with, right? You go around the world 3 times with that amount of money. Like you can go on vacations or whatever. You can give someone a huge gift. But the thing is, it's like with these products, right? He's, like you said, we don't want him to fail. We want him to be better because he's so, like, to quote Krennic, it's like, they're on the verge of greatness, but they're like this close to being too good. You know what I mean? They could be the Hot Toys killer, the vehicle killer out there, but it's just 100%. Not there.
Yes.
It's just not there yet.
Hot Toys isn't going to listen to us. They're a mass produced. They're Walmart. Okay. They're out there making their thing. They're going to do whatever. They don't care. Yost does listen to community feedback. It's been proven. He does listen to community feedback. And I just don't think there's enough transparency and honesty about that. I just don't think there is.
Carlos, you had your hand up.
I just, because I want to say my experience as a collector, because I mean I'm not part of YouTube, right? I don't want to get a word in edgewise. Yeah. This is my first stream, right? I got no skin in the game. I really don't.
No, you do have skin in the game. You look to the side, dude. That's just skin, man. You put a pound in.
What I mean by that is I don't have an agenda, right? I don't owe anybody anything. If anything, I'm exposing myself right now. There's always going to be people that have strong opinions and say certain things. I feel that when I started bringing these issues up in chats, like I realized I was getting shut up. Nobody wanted to listen to me. It was extremely frustrating. My only intention with all of this is to make sure that everybody's aware of what they're buying. If you want to buy it, it's fine. It's a product. It's out there for everybody to make their own decision. I just feel that when you make a purchasing decision, it's important for the research and all the pitfalls to be out there for people to make an informed decision. Informed consent is really important. And there's this reality distortion I feel around the entire product line. You get people that say they love it, it's perfect, and then you have the other end of the spectrum of disgruntled people that say they hate it. And I really appreciate Rudy's video because it was completely unbiased. It was unemotional. It was facts. It was factual. He explained his thought process, and I really feel we need more of that right now.
Yeah,
it's really lacking. I've seen streamers that go on and say it's the most screen accurate product out there, but to my knowledge, they don't own it. Nobody, and it's not a dig at anybody that doesn't own it. If you don't want to buy it, it's fine. Me having the products I have, it's everybody has different circumstances. It's not an elitist mentality. It's about just handling different. Like if you haven't had it in your hand, how are you going to be able to compare? Is what I'm getting at. So I just feel take a step back. Think before you buy. And don't try to tout the product if you're not 100% sure, if you've never owned it, and just going off what other people say. See for yourself.
That's very well said, man. You hit the nail on the head.
You're a natural streamer, dude. You're natural,
dude, man. This guy, look at
it's better than me, man.
It's better than all of us combined. I swear. I feel like I'm just gonna retire now.
Carlos literally just told Ryan, look at me. Look at
Dude,
me.
we're gonna end the stream on that note right there. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm gonna
You should have
my afro off.
You
and
should have
just
had the
put it on
meme there. It's like where Carlos is like, look at me, I'm the captain now.
Dude, I'm just gonna let you sign in. You can run the stream from now on, dude.
No, good.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Carlito Show.
But
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, we're just messing around, dude.
It's all good. I know.
But what's interesting about this stuff is that, and I know we're at hitting the 2 hour. This is just a really good conversation, and I know there's some other stuff we might have just skipped over because I don't know how long everyone else can be on stream for. So maybe we could wrap up in maybe the next 15 minutes.
Did you guys talk about the Pennywise?
Pennywise?
Anyway,
No.
The what? Get out of here,
Well.
V. Get out of here. Come on.
You want? We can pull a Pennywise if you want.
No, it's too late. We're on Jazzinc. Forget it. We're gonna do too much ADD. We're gonna be here for
Screw
another.
it. We'll do it.
I had Darth Vader I wanted to talk about, and like I totally have that.
Yeah,
queued
it's
over
a
here.
stick on schedule.
Oh, that
man.
looks
Don't
amazing,
talk,
man.
What, the Darth Vader?
Yeah, I know
We can do
that
a
Kenobi
30-second thing
shows
with Pennywise.
like
Those two screenshots
suck,
of Pennywise look fabulous. Incredible.
We can't talk about CMB.
Love it.
You
Hey,
do. What are you doing, dude?
I just did. Deal with it.
Who's got the Pennywise up? Who's got it? Where is it? I've seen the photos floating around. Like someone send me something.
I'll post. I'll get
V,
you.
send me something. I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up because I just want to make one last point about Jazzinc, and then I got a video about Darth Vader. We'll just, if you don't mind, if you guys got like maybe 15 minutes. I know we went a little bit over, maybe like 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll kill it. We'll just talk through the video and then we'll jump over. We'll end with Pennywise. We'll end with that. The thing about it with Jazzinc, which is really interesting, is that I've seen people say, like, I don't know how to explain this, but it's a leap of faith that you're taking on it for someone like me. And we did that with Hot Toys, right? We can all remember our first Hot Toy, right? And for me, it was the Iron Man Mark 42. That was my first Iron Man. I paid $400 for the Hot Toy, $400. At the time, I'm like, what the hell is this thing for $400? This thing better. And now look at InArt, the same thing. You jumping into the InArt game, spending $1,000 on a Joker. I mean, it's okay as a collector to take a leap of faith and you want to try something. And that's what I'm doing with the 89. Granted, it's an $1,800 leap of faith, so I'm as a first-time buyer, in terms of I'm very skeptical. That's where I'm standing as of right today. I could feel better about it tomorrow, but today I'm very skeptical. Very skeptical.
Yeah,
so.
It is. I mean, like we've gone over, do your research. Carlos said it best. It's like, do a little bit of research, look at it, look what goes into it, and then vote with your dollars, because that will ultimately, then you have to be satisfied of what you're spending. Like if you look at that and you're like, hey, I looked into every possible detail for this vehicle or for this item, and it looks good to me, then you have to be okay with the product that you get at the end of it.
Absolutely. Well said, V. Well said.
Thanks.
That being said, we'll wrap up last segment and we'll jump over to Pennywise. As always, if he does a review, I'm showing it. For me, it's the Star Wars GOAT. It's TK421 Collectibles. There you go. And he happened to put this review up today of the deluxe Darth Vader, the Kenobi Vader. Just honestly, no, I don't want to really go pick down the line. Anyone can just open talk. What are we thinking about this thing? I mean, I've seen this review I've watched this review already personally. Did a really great job breaking everything down. But I said we'll just talk over the video. But I mean, Sean, I think you were going to say something. If you just want to go for it, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, I couldn't hate the Kenobi show anymore, but man, this Vader was awesome. And I'm sorry, like this. I mean, okay, we got Christian Hayden, we got Battle Damage Vader. We haven't got a Battle Damage Vader before, so like I'm just gonna pretend that the Kenobi show just didn't happen, and I'm just gonna enjoy this figure for what it is. It's a work of art. Is it the definitive Vader? I don't care. You guys debate about it. This is just damn cool. And if you're a Star Wars collector, you're gonna get this.
Yeah, it's honestly, like you said, the Battle Damage Vader with the Hayden Christensen face like seals the deal, man. Like,
yeah,
its shelf presence alone can, like, doesn't matter which version you get, as long as you because it's the standard that has the battle damage to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too cool not to pass up on. Anyone that looks at it, like, what's you could see the Hayden Christensen resemblance in there, like it's uncanny.
Exactly.
And that's what's wild about it. Like, just one, like, not even like 1/4 of a face and they nailed it.
They sure did.
Yeah, it's insane. It's who going down the road. I mean, not I hate calling people out because they feel bad.
Do it. Go ahead, man.
Who's getting this? Who actually? I don't have it on order personally. I don't have it because I have the Return of the Jedi one. But who's got down the road? Who's got this? Who's got it?
I got the special deluxe. So
yeah, so did I.
Sean, C&B, you guys got it too?
Oh yeah. I got the deluxe version.
Carlos,
no, I stepped away from it.
me and you are in the same boat. I can't deny that if it comes up like available, I might grab it only because I had to choose. I chose between this and Return of the Jedi. I went with Return of the Jedi. I do have an Empire Vader already, so this isn't my first rodeo to it.
This isn't waitlisted yet, is it?
Yeah, it is.
All yeah, it is.
All
oh, you poor bastards out there that didn't get this.
Yeah.
Well, no, wait. So
poor bastards.
I think this figure is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I have too many Vaders. I've got, by the time I'm done with this, I feel like 4 Vaders would have been overkill. And I wanted to stick to the original trilogy, so I went with Return of the Jedi. To me, that's the definitive Vader, but that's my opinion. So,
like Nate said, man, army build Vaders.
It's a cool looking piece. You know what's crazy is that I don't know. I don't have it looked up. Does the standard version come with both bases?
No.
Shit.
Nope.
Because you know why? I want this base and hook my Dead Strange up to it.
No, the light up base is the one that's actually deluxe.
Oh, you know what that base is missing?
The light up base is the deluxe. The rock one is the one that comes with the standard.
If this would be the perfect DX if that rock base had the footprints. Tell me I'm wrong. Come on.
Oh man, no,
but it has to have square footprints, so nothing.
Dude,
can fit in it.
look at that sculpt, man. That is
that's sick.
Like V said, I make that joke about RoboCop and the DX09 Michael Keaton, where it's literally like they have faceplates and they look just like the full actor, like from a faceplate. Like this is, like you said, a quarter of a head, and it's like it's scary how well that is. It's scary.
Yeah, that head sculpt's so good. The way it's burnt and everything, you can almost practically smell the burnt bacon in it.
Now, are you guys going to display this fully battle damaged, or how are you guys going to display this? Do you have any ideas?
Battle damage all the way.
Battle damage. I have Empire Strikes Back, so I mean, I use that for clean version.
Yeah. My 5 other Vaders can display the normal version. This has to be the battle damage.
You know what's crazy about this, and I didn't touch on it with the Scarlet Witch, and it kind of sucks. And someone I follow on Instagram made this point. I forget who it was. It sucks that Scarlet Witch kind of missed the boat with not getting the separate eye rolling system. She's got like just the blank stare because with him having even the one eyeball, it does add so much more depth to the look of the sculpt, where you can have his eyelid, you know, how he's kind of looking with head down, looking up kind of thing. It does suck that Scarlet Witch like missed the boat and didn't get the separate eye rolling system.
You're right, because
that would have elevated that figure even more.
You're right, because like the way Sam Raimi directed her in that film, she has a lot of side eye, or even like the
looking up at Strange, or looking down, that kind of thing, like arrogant kind of look, or kind of
or what they call the Kubrick, where you look through your eyebrows.
Yeah,
you could have had that, like that. She did a lot in that whole film.
So. Vader's saying, "Am I winking or blinking at you?" Ooh, you'll never know.
Someone said, "Let him cook," and he cooked.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But this is like
a little too long.
Now let me ask you guys a question. I'll just open it up to the panel. Like I said, this video's got a few minutes left, and then like so we'll wrap it up. But I know this is a DX. Do you feel that this at the time, obviously DX seems to kind of went a different way? You know, there's a couple figures I think that were kind of wasted DXs, the Ahsoka, the Bespin Luke, you know, things like that. You think this is true and that, like, this is worthy of DX? Like, you think this is DX here, or do you think this, you know, anything special out of here that could just been a regular release, or was this still DX worthy?
Does anyone else want to go first, or?
I say DX worthy. I mean, because it's Vader. I mean, this is the first time they actually made Vader a DX. You know. Yeah. So I mean, with everything that they did for this, like the cape is, you can have clean or damaged. You can have the breather box clean or damaged. Helmet clean or damaged. You get a head sculpt that looks like Hayden Christensen with one rolling eye. You get the sabers. You get the display base that lights up. You get the moon rock. I mean, they went all out to show you that this is worthy of being a DX. It's not like
Okay.
some of the other DXs we got where we literally like, wow, we didn't get much for accessories. We didn't even get rolling eyes, but they still labeled it a DX.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's like when you look at the past DXs like the DX06 and with Bespin Luke, like the 2-pack version, which is probably the ultimate DX that they've ever made. Then you get the Pirates of the Caribbean, like Johnny Depp's DX, and then you got the Indiana Jones DX. Look, I'm sorry, the DXs have just gone down.
Like Black Adam.
Black Adam. What makes this DX?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we have normal versions that are USB. We have normal versions with eye roll now. We have normal versions with multiple head sculpts. We have normal versions with 2 bases. You know, what really makes this a DX compared to the past DXs? And this goes for the last 3-4 DXs that they released. They're just garbage compared to the prior ones. Like, they just watered it down now.
Yeah, I think the thing is with this one is that you can do different instances of that character, like a DX. Like, you know, you look at the DX13 version of Terminator, right? You can have the shootout. You can have different like aspects of it. You can have him having the surgery in the head. The same thing with this. You have regular Vader, clean Vader. You can have you're going to have battle damage Vader. I think. When DX is put to its test, you should have multiple accessories that have multiple scenes for that character. That's what DX should be. And I think I'm not saying it leaps over the line. I think it just nudges itself over the line. Given the different bases, the different accessories, the inverse capes. So there's a lot that comes with it to be happy with. Plus with the USB lightsabers. Great, even though it's kind of standard now. I just have to disagree with you that it's just it meets the quality of DX, but also at the bare minimum too.
I feel it's the bare minimum for DX would have been the deluxe. I don't think there was a need for a collector's edition. I mean, the fact that like what you said, the clean look, the battle damage look, the double bases. That I feel is DX worthy. The collectors, I'm really kind of tired of all these different SKUs for DXs. It kind of waters it down. That's more where I stand.
Yeah.
Hey man, Howie needs a new Lambo. That's why.
Yeah.
Look at the height difference.
I want to see. Yeah, it's kind of wild.
That's what separates a DX. Whenever we get a DX, it's Howie must be trying to make a big purchase.
Well, like look at Black Adam. I don't think Black Adam's worthy of a DX.
Oh hell no!
And not 3 SKUs, and shit, not 3 SKUs. I didn't know there was 3 SKUs until the thing released. I thought there was only 2. I didn't know
wait, there's 3? Was it the 3?
Oh, there you go.
There's 3. You get the standard, right?
Okay.
And then you get the standard deluxe, which is it's basically the black armor, but he has the throne. And then you have the golden armor deluxe, which is the golden armor with the throne.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's garbage.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Yep. So
that's big dumb.
But like I said,
See, I think if they wanted to do Black Adam to make him a true DX, they should have done it like you can come up with like the gauntlets and the belt where it was removable, so you could switch between black and gold. You get the cape, you get the hooded cloak, you get the throne. Like they should have just combined like the standard and the golden into one and just made it one giant DX. That would have shown people that it's worthy of being a DX.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it would have been. Look at that! Look at that eye, that side eye. You're screwed now.
But shout out to TK421 Collectibles, the Star Wars GOAT when it comes to reviews and things like that. He's a fantastic guy. Go check him out. And then we'll wrap up with. I know V, you sent me the link.
It's on private chat, so you can. Yeah,
there it is. Hang on 1 second.
Just 2 pictures.
What is this from Sideshow? Right? Is this
Sideshow.
Is this a statue or
no? It's a 6 scale.
Oh no,
1/6, baby.
It's a 6 scale. This is their second rooted figure now, back to back with Beetlejuice.
Wow,
dude, look at the teeth, dude. Wow. They beat Hot Toys.
Yeah,
she has scary teeth, not a mouthful of candy corn.
Do we know who sculpted this yet, or?
So this just came up from Sideshow. I saw these posts floating around today, right?
It was announced this afternoon,
and we don't know more about it except for these teases.
Yep, just these 2 teases. But from what you could see that it's rooted hair. It's going to come with 2 head sculpts, and that's about it that we know. And some balloons.
The wrinkle lines on him.
Now, is Pennywise that popular?
Dude, I love the Tim Curry one. I mean, I like the Tim Curry from the '90s show. I think that was far more superior than the new one.
Not like just beyond the the '90s or whatever. Like just horror fans in general, right?
Yeah.
This he's iconic. He's up there with everything, and especially with this resurgence of the new It movie. Like this show, this mini series was just like it scarred everybody that watched it.
Hell
yeah, dude! This shit gave me nightmares as a kid.
Hell yeah, me too.
Yeah, this was
so.
How
many versions of Pennywise we got?
Right now in the market, 2. We have 2, one from NR and one from Hot Toys, and this will be the 3rd. For
going back to the original show,
but it's the OG version.
Yeah, this is the first time we got the OG version.
Like, not to mention, there have been third parties around there. I don't know if Trick or Treat did a version of it. I don't think they did, but this is like the first. It seems like the first official version of the Tim Curry version.
It kind of seems like a shame that we have so many versions of Pennywise and we don't have one version of Jar Jar Binks.
Yet, baby. You know the one episode 1 anniversary is coming up.
Yep.
You better be
like Return of the
So
Jedi
you're saying there's a
anniversary.
chance?
Yeah.
They're gonna release 2 figures, Jar Jar and somebody else, Artisan Qui-Gon. Jar Jar and Artisan Qui-Gon.
I hope they just do like just Jar Jar and then like just one of the captain guards randomly, like just like someone that doesn't like us, just a background character. Like really, the anniversary? That's all you got? It's like dude. All right,
not even like the viceroy from the Trade Federation.
Yeah,
just one of his lackeys that's at the controls.
Just a gonk droid. I heard you guys are hearing this.
Yeah. Don't get me going here because like then the Hot Toy Sorcerer will call and say there's a artisan Bail Organa just around the corner.
Yeah, dude.
Sorcerer.
Now we're talking.
There you go. So I think where are we at? We're at the 2 hour and 36 minute mark, which was longer than I expected, but I think a good conversation. I think we could I think we can kind of leave it there, guys and gals. These aren't the Geeking Out streams where they're 8 hours long. I'm sorry about that. I do have work in the morning. It's tiring, nevertheless. But it was really fun having everybody on. Carlito, I hope you had a good time your first stream.
That was great.
I think now that you're gonna probably be getting offers from other YouTube channels to say, come on, you're not. Yeah, you're gonna get pulled all over. You're gonna be YouTube famous. So we put you on the map, buddy. So congratulations. And
fingers for Cheeto dust and Popeye's chicken grease.
There you
go. Tomorrow, I think, is Taco Tuesday, and so enjoy. But no, Carlos, I really
making tacos tomorrow.
What's
funny. I'm actually making tacos for dinner tomorrow.
And then Wednesday, maybe you're gonna eat out on Wednesday. A Whopper Wednesday. And
gross.
Hell
no.
But Carlos, I do appreciate you coming on. So much fun. Thank you so much. I do welcome you to come back again. It was important to have you on because of the whole Jazzinc conversation. I know a lot of people talk stuff about stuff they don't own. I don't own Jazzinc, but at least I know people who do, so that have insight. So that's the next best thing, to offer insight. And I think it's important because, I have a video actually dropping tomorrow. I'll drop it tomorrow. I was going to drop it Wednesday, but I'll drop it tomorrow. It's about basically, does size matter? And it's answering the age-old question that seems to be a big deal in the community is, does the size of your collection? No, V, not that. Yeah, it's a good thumbnail though. But does size matter? Meaning your collection and the validity, basically. And that was kind of what the whole point was: is that you have all these vehicles, and so you have validity to what you're talking about because of your collection. So that's kind of what it's about. And so I do appreciate you coming on, Carlos. And Sean, the Hatalorian, I know you we missed a couple last streams, but I knew I'm
back, baby.
Yeah, you're back. You were like, block out your Mondays. We're back. So I do appreciate you coming on, having great conversation.
Thanks for having me on.
Of course. And I think I think I got so much feedback from that Modu case video or that Modu waste video that Carlos and I did that I think you and I got to do something because
Yeah,
that's
I mean, I
don't have
shared a
enough,
little
you don't
bit.
have
I
enough
shared a
drinks.
little bit of my woes with you.
Yeah, but you don't have enough drinks in you yet to talk about Modu case. That's another.
Yeah, I ran out.
Yeah, that's I got to get you a whole bottle for that. But I think you and I got to hook up to try to get a video together because it's important to kind of see someone that's literally going through it as we speak. And the video that you showed me is I would never want to buy. I'm not even going to say anything.
I'm way
video,
over my
dude.
head.
Save it for the video.
Yeah, no, just
Yeah.
save it. Let's save it for the video. C&B, as always, my rock, my emotional support. You're there for me always. I very much appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. No problemo.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you always having me.
Absolutely, man. Always. And of course, our guest, the Cult of V. V, how are you doing? This is actually our first time streaming together. I'm still getting the hang of it. So I'm not a novice. I'm a rookie streamer. I'm not on Nate's level yet. I don't have his enthusiasm all the time to do 12-hour streams, but I'm still getting there. I do appreciate you coming on, honestly. Our paths kind of intersected kind of slightly, when I first started hanging out with the crew and stuff like that. But I know we were on Discord talking and just kind of open invite, and you're very gracious to come on, for someone that we never really got a chance to talk together. So I do really appreciate you coming on. I know you're kind of getting your channel back up, right? The Cult of V, you're trying to, you're bringing it back and doing some stuff. Why don't you talk to us?
Doing a bunch of stuff. Yeah. So basically, there be stuff about collecting, but a lot about entertainment, movies, a lot of that stuff. So that's basically what the cult is. It's just we're just going to be a cult of everything, and everybody's welcome to it. Just stay tuned. It's a lot, as Ryan knows, it's a lot to run a channel, and it's even more to get your own foot in the door. So I'm taking kind of a little different path, but we'll see how that turns out. I know because what's our collection without the stuff that inspired us? And I kind of want to deep dive into that stuff and kind of be like, we're in a very unique situation where, all of our favorite universes have been revived, but kind of in the worst ways, in some aspects of it. So we'll dive more into the cult, but we're just going to have a lot of different fun. So movies, gaming, collecting, you'll name it. We're going to be covering it.
Absolutely fantastic. And I do hope that, I know you'll be doing that, and you say you'll still be guesting on and doing some other stuff. So I do hope, come back as well, have fun, especially with topics and stuff. Doing these streams and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun, but like you said, trying to run it and have friends on there. That's why I like having people that are just having these conversations with, because it makes it a lot easier to talk about. So I really do appreciate that. And I really do appreciate everybody who was watching. I know we went longer than I normally do. We were holding like 60, 70 strong, talking about some stuff. So for me, that's like unbelievable numbers. So thank you so much for those who support. I really would consider dropping a like on the stream on your way out. I always say that dropping a like for a content creator is free. It doesn't cost you anything. And dropping a like on the stream, it just shows YouTube that there is engagement, and therefore they recommend the content out. And that's what it's all about, engagement. You could have 1 million subs in the world, but if you have 10 people watching you, that doesn't really mean much. YouTube and engagement is what it's all about. And so, like I said, dropping a like, it's free, it's effortless. Do it on the way out. And it just kind of, like I said, it helps put the content out there for YouTube to see, hey, get engagement. Let's put it out there for other people. That's how you get discovered on YouTube. It's not just subscribers, but it's the engagement for that. So I do appreciate that. And then, like I said, if you guys are interested, I do have the channel memberships to join. I'll stop advertising that. It's there if you guys want. I'm not trying to take anyone's money if they don't want to be a part. But it is there if you want to support the channel. And I got a couple videos dropping this week, as always. So doing a lot of content. I did have something that I was going to address at the end of the stream, but I think I'm going to hold that for another time, just because we're running out. We're hitting that 3-hour mark. But like I said, guys, I appreciate everybody once again. I will leave you guys with some thank yous. We're going to end it because you know why? Because Monday Night Raw is on. I got it recorded. And I'm going to watch Raw for a little bit. But until then, guys, I will see you guys on the next stream. Take care, everybody.
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.
I'll buy that.